GFQs. We don't even have. I couldn't even. It's so long ago that we did the show. We didn't have a YouTube page set up, so when I went to go set it up, I couldn't go live on it. Hey, everybody! It's happening.
I'll plug in the phones.
All right, plug in your phones.
Too bad you don't have a phone number on the bottom.
888-659-3727. All right. Hey, everybody. Hey, chat room. We're getting a show on the road here. Sorry for the few-minute delay here. Let me post this on Twitter. I need the link here. Yo, Nick B. Yo, Coco's in the chat. I'm in the chat. You got a nice audience for your show today, Spence.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
We getting calls off the hook though on that show.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like a real boy.
You're like a real boy.
Yeah.
This is going to be a shit show. We haven't done the show in many, many years. So let me get this going here. All right. People are watching on Facebook. They're watching on Twitch. They're watching everywhere. All right. Guys, come in the chat. Join us so you can participate.
Where's your chat?
Everywhere. Add everyone.
Are we live on Facebook?
Free for all. Yeah, we are.
Man, I'm nervous.
You're nervous. We haven't done this in so long.
I'm not
I like
really
this
nervous.
new logo. I'm very... Yo, Christian! This guy hasn't been around in 5 years. When the show ended, he disappeared.
So, I'm going to go on YouTube.
Eleftherios, big fan from Greece.
Oh, now it's going to play through there.
Let me make one more post here. Nobody's probably going to tune in, which is cool. I don't care.
I have 6 car.
You what? What'd you say? You have 6 cars?
That's what our friend from Greece said. I have 6 car.
I have 6 car.
You
Ryan,
have 4.
long time no see. Let's see. Let's do this. Are you ready? Are you nervous?
Me?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm on so many pills right now. I don't even know what's going on.
Let's let me post this everywhere. John Prosser is probably the most excited for this show. John Prosser.
Okay. Then he should do it.
John Prosser? I think he wants to be honest.
Well, he could take my place.
All right, let me All right, you ready, Coke?
I think so, yeah.
Oh boy, this is going to be fun. It's been many years. All right, so
Make
this
sure
is
you have my levels right for the first time.
Let me see. Keep talking.
Make sure you have my levels right for the first time because they're perfect on my end. Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3.
All right,
Keep your
I think
levels
that's
so
fine.
low.
I don't keep the levels low. My shit's fine. Actually, it is a little low. I don't know why it's been low, to be honest.
It's low, man.
Suncat sabotaged the whole thing.
Oh, I know. I got to put you on Bluetooth in order to hear you.
I'm on Bluetooth. All right. You guys ready? I don't know how to do this. Yeah, let me plug this in. We're going to do typical tech issues. Let's see if this works really quickly. Yep. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. In 3, 2, and 1. I cannot believe that after 5 years of a break, the free-for-all has returned, everybody. I forgot how I used to do the intro, so I'm going to start doing it. Thank you, thank you. Joining me live from Los Angeles, the one, the only, Mr. Spencer Coburn. Spencer.
Hello, sirs.
It's been 5 years.
It's unbelievable. It's like the geriatric free-for-all.
And, of course, Cocoa Butter here, co-hosting.
Can you call me that?
Yeah, you're
Oh,
co-hosting.
all right, man. It's been a long time, man. It's good to be back. I'm floored that this is actually happening tonight.
When I told you randomly in a drunken moment that the free-for-all is returning, you literally dropped what you were doing and
Oh,
you
absolutely.
said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "No, I'm not." He goes, "I'll be there. What day? What time? Let's do it."
Oh yeah, dude. I was actually supposed to be like doing something tonight, and like I was just like, yeah, no, sorry guys, I can't make it. I got something I got to do.
It's the last show we did was May of 2015.
Wow.
Dude, that's the year the Apple Watch went on sale. The guy was found guilty. The Boston bomber was found fucking guilty.
My brother?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, my brother was found guilty of the Boston bombing.
The Nepal earthquake. I mean, think about what was happening in 2015.
I don't know. All I remember,
We
all
had
I
this
know, dude,
cool-looking brother as the president of the United States.
you did stutter really well too.
Yeah.
Did the Obama stutter really well.
Yeah.
No, dude, I had no kids, right? At that point, there were no
No
kids.
kids.
I was 10.
Zane
I
had
was
just left
jacked.
New Direction.
Zane had left New Direction.
Yeah.
Are you? Do you have a list of everything that happened in 2015 at this point? Because
It's in my head, man. I'm like a savant.
I can't remember anything. The last thing I remember, we did a show and it was called The Mayor of Bayside, and it was about your 50th birthday. And I believe that was a night that we went out. I think we went out to dinner, and Jess abandoned us, and we went to Price, and we hung out in the backyard, and we smoked cigarettes all night.
Yeah, I turned 50 and Leonard Nimoy just died.
Yeah, that was the night. That's what it was.
That was the night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, you guys could call in if you have never watched the free for all, which I can't imagine the 50 or so people watching this have never watched it, because this is a bizarre anomaly of a show. You could call in 888-659-3727. That's 888-659-3727. How come you never had an 800 number that was like 1-888 hair? Did you ever try to get
Because
one?
I thought it was ridiculously corny. And I just never wanted to be associated with that. That's what this whole fucking hair loss industry is about.
I can't believe you're still doing
And
it.
I'm like the anti-hair loss industry. What was that?
I can't believe you're still doing it.
Dude, 22 years. You know what? No one can still believe I'm doing it. The guys that were trying to get me out of business 22 years ago still can't believe I'm still around. You know what? These guys are on their last fucking legs. And I'm about to see a complete change of the guards because I'm still young enough.
The changing of the guards. So what have you been?
Changing of the old guard.
I want to know. So I kind of want to go down the list of things that have changed in people's lives. Like, Coke, you lost a lot of weight.
Yes, I did lose a lot of weight.
You lived with me for a little bit.
I lived with you. Yes,
People don't realize that Coco lived with me for about 2 months.
that's right. I lived with you for about 2 months after I had my my weight loss surgery.
Yeah.
Back in at the end of 2016.
You gained a little weight back.
Yeah, I gained a little weight back, which I think is fine because like I was looking at pictures of myself when I lost like all the first like initial weight and stuff, and like I was like, wow, you know, like part of me wants to get back to like what I was when I first lost the weight, but the other part of me is just like, I don't know. Like looking at myself like that, I'm like I could see my skeleton, and I never wanted. Like I never saw myself as like someone
You
who
can
was like.
see your skeleton.
Yeah, like I mean, like I had a jawline. I'm like, I'm not supposed to have a jawline. I'm supposed to have jowls. Like,
Hold on, we got
like,
Deacon here too.
Intern Deacon has something to say about this. Look, Coco, I didn't like how you were intruding on my internship.
You're talking into the wrong mic. That's disconnected, you nitwit.
Look, as I was, you know,
So
you
it
got
begins.
you got like a booby trap microphone right here. It's not my fault.
He's
You know, I was saying that you know, I didn't like that time in Coco's life because he was taking my interning snacks. I'd come in and Coco's lingering around, taking my coffee, whatever the bagel spread is available the day of work.
Can I tell
that
you?
was all I was able to eat though. Was
come
just
on,
the
man.
spread. It wasn't on a bagel or anything. It's like a spoonful of cream cheese.
You were in a
and I was.
bathrobe.
Oh my God,
That's
he
true.
would-
I was in a
dude.
bathrobe the whole time. For 2 months, I'm in Andrew's house. I'm sleeping in
Like
his
Ric
his
Flair.
which is what is now the kids' playroom, and you know he's talking about the spreads and stuff. But that was all I could eat, man. Like I couldn't even put it on like a bagel. Like I couldn't even have like bread for like 2 months.
This guy will walk around in slippers. Who? First of all, what Italian father are you? Walking around in a bathrobe and slippers all day long, and he would have to blend fish. He would eat
Yes.
mushed up.
So wait a
fish.
second. You
Yeah,
you were
like
con-
tuna
you were
salad.
convalescing. You were convalescing in the Zarian household.
Yes. I
That is-
think so.
I think I somehow heard about that.
blocked it out.
Look, I'm
Yeah,
just
I
an
tried to
intern.
block it out.
I witnessed this go on for almost a month straight during my internship here at GFQ.
Yeah,
Thank
he-
you, Deacon.
Yeah, he must have been going nuts because he didn't have anybody to grab cigarettes from at the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was.
All right, thank you, Deacon. Deacon's here. I know we're gonna get a lot of hate for him. So
Why?
thank you, Deacon.
People hate Deacon?
People hate Deacon, dude. They hate him. They can't
Why is
stand
that?
him. I don't know. He really makes them lose their mind. By the way, 888-659-3727. So I had no kids at that point. Now I got 2 kids. I was working for myself. Now I got a job, which is
Dude, I was having sex with a 35-year-old girl.
You were sleeping with a 35-year-old girl, and you were 50.
Yeah.
Now you're 56.
I'm not
Old man.
56. I'm 54. I'm going to be 55 if
You're
I'm
gonna
lucky.
be 55. Yeah. I can't believe how much time has gone by. I know a lot of people wanted to call in today, so this is your opportunity to call in. I don't know, dude. You know what it is? I feel like we stopped the show, right? We stopped doing the show. 5 years went by, and the whole planet went nuts.
yeah,
Like, I don't know if we could
Absolutely.
do the show that we used to do and say the stuff we used to say because everything is different now.
we never say anything. Well, no. all right,
I'm going to
maybe
tell
we
you
did.
something. I was listening to the show, and I made a comment about Beyonce's wig on one of the shows.
Okay.
And I can't say that now.
No, but now you can talk about.
Sure you
Jay-Z.
can. She's wearing lace proudly.
It was nothing bad.
she's
I just
killing
You
it.
can't say it anymore. You can't mention Beyonce's wig.
Really? So I just said there was a good-looking brother in the White
good-looking
House.
brother in the White
Is there
House, yeah.
something wrong with that?
Something wrong with everything. We live in a whole different world.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with what you just said, but I think there's something wrong with it enough for me to not repeat it. You know what I mean?
Really?
It's like,
Dude, I'm gonna
well,
tell you,
like you heard what I said. I didn't say, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying a good-looking brother. I just said I don't think there's anything wrong with what you said because you got to kind of just, I feel like you got to write down everything you're about to say and look it over, have somebody edit it before you like talk to people. It's like you can't just like say anything.
I
I feel like I should
but
be
I think
wearing
I
a
get a
mask.
pass. I think I get a pass actually because I'm over 50.
and you're in the hair loss world.
Well, even besides that, it's like my old barber. He is the most, and I don't think he's really a racist, but everything, he's a sexist. The guy's misogynist. I mean, his jokes are just, and they're
What do you mean?
fucking
What is he doing?
hilarious.
He's walking around. He sees like a group of girls walking out. He's like, "Oh, look at these broads."
Oh, dude, and he basically, we were watching, he watches CNN, so we're sitting there watching the news, and there's a whole bunch of broads, talking, and he's like, he actually said, you know what, why are they wasting time? They should be back in the kitchen. I swear to God,
my
this guy
God.
said this. This guy's like 74 years old.
So I was telling
Now,
the
it's
story
okay.
to somebody. I was
It's
telling the
okay coming
story-
from him, though.
I guess so, because he's an old man. What are you gonna do? I was
Right.
sitting at a bar. This is probably like 2 years ago. So I grew up in Queens, so it's a little different here, right? You got everybody. I always grew up like a white kid,
Okay.
I did not become a person of color. Did you know this? I'm a person of color now after Trump won the election. I get drunk white girls that constantly apologize to me what my family's probably gone through
Are you serious?
in America. I swear to God, it's hysterical. I was telling somebody this. Actually, I think the person's in the chat room right now, Anthony. I was telling him this. We went out for a couple drinks. Anthony, Antny, Anthony.
Yeah.
I was telling him in the chat. We were getting a couple drinks a couple weeks ago, and I was like, dude, I became brown. The whole world has gone nuts.
Well, I mean, dude, how do you think I feel? I mean, look at me. My beard is like red. My eyes are blue. I'm like everything that everybody hates about America right now. Because like with my beard and all this, I look like a hick, and like I'm what everybody hates right now. It's like you cannot look at me and be like, oh yeah, that dude's definitely Italian. That dude's like his father and mother definitely came off a boat. That's
I'm
the
an old white man.
Now, you're an old white man. I got to tell you,
I'm an old white man.
a lot of my friends are into you, dude. A lot of my
you're
friends,
like Coco?
Coco, everybody.
into.
Who's into me?
Coco,
I'm sorry. What?
you like old white dudes, isn't
Let me
that
tell
your
you
thing?
something.
No, that's
if
my
you
thing.
didn't, if you didn't talk about what I did and probably say like where I live and all that stuff, these girls would not be into me.
No,
an
I
old
don't
man.
think so. But a lot of my friends are into you. Every time you walk by, Steve, he's into him. He loves him. Coco loves him.
Yeah, we all love Spencer. I mean,
Yeah.
Just being back here like 5 years later, talking to you, hearing your voice, seeing you on the screen, you haven't aged at all in the last 5 years.
What are you talking about? You haven't seen him in person in the last 5 years.
I don't need to. Seeing him on screen and seeing him look exactly the same as I remember him is enough for me, man. I mean,
You know what? You know what?
Yeah,
he does?
Dude, listen, I'm going to be 40 this year.
Jesus Christ.
To me, that's crazy. And not like I remember what 30 was like. You took me out for my 30th birthday. That's how long we've
did.
known each other.
I did take you out for
And
your
it was
30th.
like
Dude,
one
when
of
I
the most
met you
depressing
guys-
nights.
The first time I met you guys, I surprised Andrew for his 25th birthday.
At Sapphire, the world's
I was
greatest gentlemen's
44
club.
years old. I was 44 years old.
Right.
Yeah, you came. We met at a strip club, Spencer and I. No, I was doing a show. I was doing the Andrew Zarin show. I think it was my
Was I
birthday
there
show,
for
right?
that? 'Cause I think I
You
was
were,
there.
yeah. It was my 25th.
You were there.
Was it my
Was
25th
that the
or
one I lost
26th
my
birthday?
I got a little nuts? I think.
No, that was the roast. That was like my
Yeah, wasn't that your
27th.
birthday? Oh, okay. So that was like 2 years later.
Yeah, that was my 27th birthday.
And then I want to circle back to who's into me. But go ahead.
Yeah, people are asking, where's Chauncey? Chauncey's in Ireland with a daughter now. He has a 7-year-old daughter in Ireland.
You
I got
guys with
2
your kids, man.
Maybe you got one.
That's what
somewhere.
ages you.
Maybe you got one. You don't even know. You got a 24-year-old somewhere.
Dude, I don't even want to talk about that shit.
It's possible.
It's like don't even joke.
I could have like a 35-year-old.
What would your reaction be? Like tomorrow,
I
some
just
guy
slammed the
knocks
door
on
in
your
their face.
door.
I'd be
he's
like, "Psst, I don't, dude. If you waited this long, it's not that important to you." And I would just close the door.
Get lost, pal.
yeah.
You know
888-659-3727.
why do you think I refuse? I will not do any of these Ancestry.com or these DNA tests. I don't want some kid coming out of the woodwork.
You know what? That's a scary thing. I'm gonna give you a great story. Okay, a friend of mine took the DNA test. A friend of mine's brother took
bad
the
move,
DNA
man.
test.
Okay.
They did not match up.
Really?
Yes.
Two
That's so
brothers.
fucked
They did
up.
like
Two
their
brothers.
DNAs
Their
didn't match
DNAs
up.
do not match up. Not the same father.
You know, I have a sister who did that. Maybe I should do it and find out if she and I are related.
There's no you come from the Addams family. First of all, everybody in your family's related. There's no way you're not related to your.
But if you're gonna take a DNA test, why not do it privately? You know, go through a physician, or you can take a at-home DNA test that you can see the
Why
results.
would you want to do it that way?
Why would you want to send it to a fucking company so they can own your DNA? What
I
kind of
wouldn't wanna
idiot
do
do you
that
have to
either.
be to use Ancestry.com? And oh yeah, I want to know if I'm 1/10 American, Native American.
Native American.
Who gives a fuck?
But you don't want to know. You don't want to find some fourth cousin somewhere.
No.
I do not want to know something. When my father was dying, he kept saying to me that he had something that he wanted to say to me.
Oh, the secret.
He wanted to unburden himself. I'm like, Pop, I don't want to fucking know.
He wanted to.
I had no
unburden
curiosity.
himself.
Yeah, I didn't want to know if he was gay. I didn't want to know if he was in jail. I didn't.
What do you think it
there was
was?
something. I have no clue.
Oh, it
I
has
have
to be
no
something
clue.
good.
But luckily he went completely nuts before he told me.
Yeah, but do you think it was something serious, or do you think it was like an old crazy man coming up with something?
All I know is that it's very possible it could have been either. You
My
knew about my
grandfather-
dad.
Before my grandfather died, I swear to God, he would constantly tell me there's 100 kilos of gold hidden somewhere in the house that he hid it. Okay? He would you know how much gold 100 kilos of gold is?
Did you like pull a Janice Soprano
I
and tear the whole
Tore
house
this
apart?
whole fucking house apart looking
Really?
for his
Did you
secret
check
gold.
Did you check the foundation of the
I
house?
looked
That's
everywhere.
basically
There's no gold.
the house
It's
is
just-
built on gold, dude.
Yeah, exactly. The beams inside are
What
all
was
gold.
what was that explorer that was going to South America to find the gold? Not Ponce de Leon. Maybe it was him.
Yeah, it was
It was like-
Ponce de Leon. I can't even say it. It was
Ponce
Ponce.
de Leon. Yeah, he was looking for his goddamn gold in Colombia. Idiot. Just nothing but trees there. My grandfather was like, "There's gold somewhere. There's gold. I hid the gold. I hid the gold. I tore this goddamn house apart." And then I'm like, "This is just a crazy fucking old guy.
Mhm.
What gold?"
Yeah, it shows how crazy you are that you believed him.
I
and you
did,
tore
of
the house
course.
apart.
What do you want? What do you want? Some chump
By
to
the way,
get it?
guys, the phone number is 888-659-3727. We have some calls on the line. We'll
let's
take your
take it.
calls in a second. But I do want to say, so actually yesterday was the 6th anniversary of my father's death. And we're talking about,
God.
shit that's going on, crazy shit. The stuff that some of his nurses would tell me, I had no idea that my father would ask everybody, every woman within a 5-foot reach to give him a blowjob.
Oh, what a great
Didn't
man.
matter where he was.
Listen, he was a war
He would ask
hero.
them for a
How could he
blowjob.
not?
Well, I mean, at that age, it's like you gotta. I feel like once we get that age, like it's not gonna be cute and funny anymore. You know what I mean? It's like I'm gonna be facing like charges when I'm 70 years old and like out of my mind.
What?
Oh,
To go be like, you want to touch
Like,
me?
do you believe what this guy did? I'm gonna spend like my last like 3 years of my life when I'm like 77. 3 years I'm turning 80, and I'm gonna spend the rest of my life in jail because I'm gonna end up saying
I'm talking about like this Honduran LP that was taking care of my father. Said to me, your father, he wants blowjobs.
I thought it was
Anyway.
the Guyanese woman. Which one?
Oh,
Which one did he
That's when you
chase?
say,
we
well,
had-
wait a minute.
Was it the Honduran woman that he chased out of
Look,
the whole
you,
place?
you had to ruin my story. I forgot that she was Guyanese, so I just said Honduras. She's Honduran.
Hold on.
This is-
The
ahead.
intern, Deacon, what do you need? No, I'm good.
Big
Thank
Mac, large fries,
you.
chocolate
Intern Deacon
milkshake,
taking the orders here.
nothing. But
I don't know if you remember the story that
cigarettes.
the Guyanese chick sat common law down at the time and said she just wanted her to know that there was nothing happening between the two of us,
That's fucking
me and her, me and the Guyanese
Yeah, and
chick.
common law's a knockout, and the Guyanese woman was 4'8" and 60. I just want you to know.
She
Your
was actually
handsome
my age.
husband, Your handsome husband and I. There's nothing going on here.
But it was beautiful, man. She
Did
came
they-
back to
did
me.
they
She's
pull-
like, "You're not gonna believe this shit."
Did he? Wait. First of all, did she say? Did she turn around and say, "Listen, nothing's going on with me and your dad. Nothing's happening with me and your father."
That is so fucking mean. Let's take a phone call.
All right, let's take one.
Wretched.
Go ahead, Coco. I want to hear what Coco had to say.
Oh no, I was just saying that's wretched. That's messed up. That's it. Sorry.
I get that all the time. What am I
No,
gonna do?
yeah, well, not for me, man. I got your back.
I know. I appreciate that. Hey, man, you're on the air. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Is it me?
It's you.
Oh my goodness, it's Christian Tackett. How are you guys doing?
Christian, how are you, man?
Doing great, man. Doing great. I can't believe you guys are back on the air after 5 years.
I can't believe it either. Andrew contacted me the other day. I'm like, do I really have to do this?
What happened? What sparked this?
I think Andrew's going through a, hold on. He's potted all the way up. You can't hear him?
He's a little low. You can pot him up a little bit.
No,
if you
not
can.
at all.
Can
No,
you hear
not
me?
you.
Oh, I can. I can hear him now. Yeah, now I can hear you. Sorry.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe I'm going through a little thing right now. Maybe a little midlife crisis thing. I'm looking to buy
I was
a
going to say
Corvette.
that.
Well, it's partially me too, because like for the past 5 years, every time I'm with Andrew. So, how's you ever think about doing the free for all again, dude? I'm really busy. I'm working. I got stuff.
I think the last time you asked me, I turned around and I was like, enough with this effing free for all. It's never happening
He's
again.
like, it's not gonna, dude. Listen, it doesn't work anymore. Nobody. I'm like, fine. Walked away. And it's like I'm like I'm like Randy the Ram at this point where I'm like, all right, when's the next gig? When are we doing this again, man? Like come on.
So
like,
people don't realize Christian was like you were a kid when you were listening to the show, right?
God, I mean, yeah. Now looking back, I'm 27 now. So you guys have been doing this for a few years, a long break.
wow.
Well, we started in 2010,
Long time
so
now.
10 years ago. So you were probably like 18, 19 years old when we started doing the show. Now you're like an adult.
Yeah, right around then.
You're probably more successful
Got a
than all of
full-time
us.
job, dogs, married.
No shit,
Oh, no, that's
get
not,
out of
that's
here.
not true at all. Doing what I can.
All growed up.
No, we
But,
a lot of people were questioning.
Yeah,
A lot of people thought something happened, and that's why we stopped the show.
What could happen?
Well, frankly, that's what I believe too.
Really?
A lot of shit did happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, you guys really just fell out, went out of nowhere.
We just disappeared, man.
I got bored,
Yeah.
man. I got bored doing the show. I loved it, but it just
Yeah, you left
happened.
us diehard stranded, just saying.
Listen, so here's the
I'm trying to
thing.
feel a little bad so you continue to do this.
Andrew's
Yeah,
not
so-
even listening to you. I
I
mean,
am
this is one of the reasons why I stopped doing the program. It's Andrew's OCD.
I am listening, but I'm
It's like
anticipating.
I have a thought. I got to get it out. Let me say it. Stop. I don't hear the caller. So anyway,
I'm trying to figure out how I could pot up the caller in my mind and not pot up Spencer because the caller's low. That's what I'm trying to figure out here.
You cannot do that. And I'm potting up as far as I can without it. I mean, I'll pot him up higher. Go ahead, caller.
Do I need to talk a little louder?
How's that,
Dude,
Andrew?
put him up.
I mean, he's
Maybe. Mic check 1, 2, 3.
he's totally in the red right now.
Telephone line, mic check. I'm in the red. Oh, yeah, let's not do that.
Andrew,
Yeah.
Andrew,
Yes.
can you hear him?
Yes. I can hear
Okay.
him. Perfect.
All right. Good.
See, look, my TV production specialist has trained me for this exact moment.
Yeah, you're in media, right? You do TV, you do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
there's a
I've
whole
been 7 years in news now.
That's wild. I feel like there's a whole generation of like 17-year-olds that started watching the show and something has happened to them. Like, John Prosser?
Yeah.
John was like 14 years old when he started watching the show. And he sent me this whole message. He's like, dude, I just want to let you know, you inspired me for my career. And he's one of the most hated people in technology right now.
I'll tell you something even more fucked up. I have a physician who's now part of my organization who contacted me and to tell me that he used to listen to me when he was a freshman in college when I was on the radio. And not only did I help him as far as the right direction for his hair loss, and he ended up getting a great hair transplant, I inspired him to become a hair transplant surgeon.
Oh, my God.
There you go.
And now he's part of my organization.
From
That's
the,
how
from the
old
show.
I am. From the Bald Truth when he was on the radio. He bought my books. I mean,
You
this
just planted
guy's a
the seed
huge
early
fan.
And just waited for it to grow. That's all it is.
What was that?
You just planted that seed and waited for it to grow. Now it works for you.
That's exactly the way that it works, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mastermind. But that being said, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I have to go back to work here soon. I wanted to say hi, show my love. Coco, you look great.
thank
Keep
you.
up with
Thank
whatever
you.
you're doing. Stop smoking, though, my guy. Stop. That shit is bad for you.
Dude, he
Spencer,
had
you look
stuff.
like you've not aged a single day.
Well, I appreciate that. You
And
you
we
haven't
all
seen
know
me.
Andrew's not a real person anyway.
You haven't seen me from the waist down though. So, all right, man. Thanks for the call.
You guys have a good night.
I appreciate it. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Candle, Spencer's
do-
made out
we
of
gotta
finely.
figure-
Yeah.
What'd you say? As soon as what?
I said you're sculpted out of fine candle wax. Just stay the same.
That's fucked up. That is fucked up. But I will be in New York in a couple of weeks.
You are. What did we do last time? Oh, we went out. We went out to dinner. And with
We
your
did
friend.
go out to dinner. Yes, actually, Raphael III joined us.
Yeah, he came to dinner. We went out. It was nice.
And then he left us.
and
You
then
left me, and then I don't know what happened.
You ended up in some bar. And I got a phone call the
boy.
following day. That's what happened. I got a phone call the following day. saying, "I hope he got back to his hotel." That's all I was told, which was nice. It was nice that people.
And the
were
sad
looking-
part is, I woke up and I thought I was in somebody else's hotel.
888-659-3727. So, I mean, it is interesting to do this, and you kind of, it takes like a couple of weeks to kind of get in the vibe. So what I'm thinking is, I don't know if I'm going to do this weekly, but maybe monthly would be the way to do the show. Is monthly something we could commit to?
I would say bi-monthly. No, I would say monthly's fine.
Yeah, I think once a month we could do the show because I kind of have to get back into the vibe.
Yeah, I
show
mean,
like this.
this is the the initial getting over the initial like shock and excitement of being back together and just trying to make it work for like this one night, making it worth it for whoever's watching and being entertaining, but also being us and bringing back something that's been gone for 5 years and trying not to be like old stale farts at this point.
I'm still amazed how much culture has changed in the last 5 years.
Well,
That's
I mean,
my biggest thing.
I feel like that. I feel like that might be one of the reasons that it like gets dead for a second. It's like, yeah, I wanted to throw a joke in here, but who knows how people are going to react to that? I mean, it seems like the people in the chat room are cool enough, but I don't know. I mean, it's everything has changed, man. I think the downfall of the free for all is what made everything change. Like we ruined the country, man.
Because we stopped doing it and we stopped.
Exactly. Nobody had that outlet on Friday nights anymore.
So so Spencer, to one of my coworkers today, I was explaining who Joe from Staten Island was to them.
Oh, God.
And I did a terrible job. Is he alive?
I have no idea. Joe's from Staten Island has boycotted the Bald Truth. He has not called the program.
What?
It's got to be 4 or 5 years now. Maybe 4 years.
It's the ending of the free for all, man. It broke his heart.
Dude, once we broke up the band, everything changed.
Yeah. I think so. I think that's
And
what
that-
changed everything.
But Joe is not called in at all, so I have no idea how he is. There was another guy who was actually looking after Joe online. His name was Dave.
Is that
He
the dude that
disappeared.
painted a photo of you eating a cupcake?
Yes,
Jesus Christ.
he's disappeared off the face of the earth,
Maybe they ran off
and
together.
I'm like fucking Father Time here.
He's still doing it. He's still doing the bald show.
I'm still doing the fucking Bald Show.
Well, I mean,
There's other guys trying to do Bald shows. There's other guys, I mean, I got more enemies. It never ends.
I have more. It's like a rap song, your life. I got
it is.
enemies everywhere. You're trying to take me out.
Dude, my entire career, people have been trying to take me out. And I'm like,
well, you're the original.
I'm
That's
telling-
why, man.
He is the original.
You're the original. People
Look,
want to do what you're doing, and they'll try, and they probably won't do it as well because you've been in the game for as long as you have. You've done your research way before, any of these people even had it as a thought in their mind, and it's like you've done everything, and these people just want to like take it from you and attempt being better at it than you are, and it's just not possible when you're the originator.
well, I appreciate it. Sometimes, the pioneer of anything is the guy that gets all the arrows. And that's just the way that it is. And I have always looked at my career and my life as a marathon. I never care. Like now, the world is completely different. In the last 5 years, Instagram, Facebook, everything is just, social media has grown exponentially. And now there are guys, even on YouTube, who've become influencers in my game. And that's cool. That's great. These guys are forced to, in order to figure out a way to make a living, they're forced to have like, what are those codes called, Andrew, that you do?
Excuse me?
What are those codes?
Codes?
Those codes. Yeah, you're like, click code here and, say Andrew Zarian and get your free falafel. What is that?
A link to purchase? What are you talking about?
Basically,
Codes.
these YouTubers have like some sort of, they're like, click the code here. Click
Yeah,
the link
like
here
a
for
regular,
your-
like how an ad goes. Like, go to BlueChew.com and get your first order for free by going to BlueChew.com.
Yeah, but you got to say, slash Andrew or slash, whatever it is. So these guys are all out there selling like fucking laser helmets and all kinds of shit trying
Dude,
to make.
I gotta
money.
tell
I get
you,
it.
I know. I gotta just say this. I don't think I'll have an
Yeah.
avenue to talk about this in the next month, but I do want to talk about this Fakakta laser helmet. Okay, so for people who don't know, the laser helmet is a promo code, Spencer. That's what you're going for.
Promo code. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you
Yeah.
Yeah, a laser helmet is literally a helmet or a cap with cat toys attached to it that you put on your head, and theoretically it'll grow your hair back because of mitochondria.
I'm sorry, you lost me at cat toys.
It's
Like-
lasers, like red
Oh,
lasers.
okay, I got you. Well, I mean,
I know you're gonna be. You don't want to ruffle anybody up, Spence. So can I say this?
Me?
It's yeah. It's
I can.
ridiculous.
I'll say it. I was offered $500,000. This was almost 18 years ago. I was offered close to, actually a little bit more. It's $50,000 a month to provide the American Hair Loss Association seal to a company at the time, just so they would essentially just license my seal out to them, so they can say that they are endorsed by the American Hair Loss Association. And I said no. Now, no one would have fucking known. They're still selling laser caps and hoods and all that shit. But at the time, I thought, I'm always looking at the long game. And it was something I didn't want to do. Now, it is 2020, and these products are being sold on television. They're being sold, all over social media. And I'm not saying that there isn't some use for them. And there seems to be some anecdotal data, and there's some weird clinical data that's essentially has been backed by the companies themselves that are going around. A lot of doctors are selling them.
Oh, great.
But the reality is, I mean, honestly, if these products work the way that they claim, I'm not saying that they don't have some sort of merit, but you don't think that everyone, people would stop taking medication. There would be no more hair transplant surgery, no more wigs. The wig business would be done.
Mhm.
And these things would be on the cover of Time magazine.
Yeah.
You're not going to see it on a late night infomercial or on Fox News.
Yeah.
exactly.
By the way,
You're not going to find it on the shelf at Walgreens in the as seen on TV section. You know what I mean? If it was anything good about it, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be able to find it for
F6 says.
But I will say
"Darren,
this.
Have your next finasteride dose on screen. I don't have any. I'm all out. I have to go pick it up tomorrow. I took my last one today.
But I will say this: there will be a day when I want to retire completely, that you're going to see that seal. And I'm just telling all you guys right now that I have no problem after 23 years of being dedicated to smart consumerism. I have no problem selling out to something that's not going to harm somebody when I'm old.
Well, I mean, I was going to say, wasn't that helmet around like when we were doing the
Yeah,
show
ure.
before? Because I remember hearing.
Sure.
I remember hearing about it. I thought maybe it evolved when you said
Dude,
cat toys.
go
It,
to
like, doubles
all
as
you have
a,
to do is
know.
go to Alibaba.com and you
AliExpress.
look up whatever it is, laser helmets, and you can get one with the exact same number of diodes, made in China, where these are manufactured anyway for the most part, for $120.
You know what? I'm cool because for $120 I could get like 6 like band baseball caps, and like that's how I
Well, it's
take
a lot
care
better
of
than
my spot.
$3,000. It's
Exactly.
a lot
I mean,
better
like,
than
that's
$3,000.
honestly that's how I take care of my my bald spot. I just wear hats. I cover it.
You
I
could have
just
saved
cover
it,
it.
dude. Yeah, but
Huh?
you're getting old.
I could have saved it, but I always said that if it ever came down to it where it got really bad, I could always just shave it off.
Listen, you got old. I became a young man.
You know what? I'm looking in the mirror, and yes, this just shows you like how much. Like when my beard gets this long, I actually use a beard brush. I'm like brushing my beard, and I'm like seeing all these like grays popping up under the red hair, and I'm like, what is happening?
Dude, my hair is totally white. I mean, it always looks darker on camera, but you can see my chin. I mean, listen, it's the way that it is, man. And I have to tell you this: the whiter my hair gets, the more attention I seem to get
From
So
who?
fucking-
From women?
from the ladies. Yes, from who? From men and women.
Listen, dude, you never know. You're in L.A.
Look, I never.
I'm
say
getting
never.
I'm
Well, I
getting
mean-
yelled at. I'm getting yelled at already because of my comment that I said that 20-year-old white women think I'm brown now. So I'm being
Who's-
told, he
who's-
goes,
who's
just to
yelling
be
at you?
clear, a friend of mine, you're not white or
Yeah.
brown. I
Well-
don't know what I am then.
Well, listen, these same 20-year-old women would probably look at me and be like, the same 20-year-old women who would look at you and call you brown are the same one that would say that I have some kind of white privilege.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, dude. I'm sitting at a bar in Midtown Manhattan. I'm having a drink, and this drunk girl, is starting to cry, and she looks at me. She's like, "I'm so sorry. I just want to know, how is it for you?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, "How is it in America right now for you?" I was like, "Fucking great. I'm making more money than I've ever made."
Right.
And they're like, "Well, it couldn't be easy for you growing up in America like that." I'm like what? He goes, "Well, obviously you're Arab."
Wow.
I'm like, "I'm not."
Oh, I mean, you did do that, like, what was it, 23andMe or whatever, like that ancestry thing?
I did. I came back Italian.
Aren't you more Italian than
anything else?
Jeez.
Coco definitely has white privilege. I just want to
I
let you
do
know.
not have white
He's
privilege.
the most privileged man ever.
Absolutely not. Like I told you, my parents both came to this country on boats, okay? When my father got here, the only privilege that he had was keeping his last name, all right?
Did they really come on a boat?
Yeah.
Nobody comes on a
Two
boat.
separate points in their lives.
Why didn't they fly? Planes existed. It's not
They
1910.
came through Ellis Island, like.
I don't believe that. That's
a
insane.
true story. Absolutely.
Do you believe this, Spencer? What year did he come? How old is
my
your father?
my mother came when she was about 7. That was in the 50s, and my father came in the late 60s, like 60.
So my father was born in a kitchen sink. Okay.
Jesus, no,
So
he was
I believe
not.
anything.
Well, I mean,
He lived on Kosciuszko Street, Kings County, Brooklyn, right?
mhm.
Kings Highway. And yes, he was born basically by he was delivered by midwife.
Jesus
Oh, wow.
Christ. And
I mean-
My grandparents, everyone came over on a boat. We had to escape.
my father was born.
Escape Brooklyn, right?
No, they had to escape Russia and
'Cause
Austria and anywhere else Jews were being killed and persecuted.
I feel like I don't know why anybody goes to Brooklyn. By the way, can I?
You think
can I
you
mention
think
this?
it's funny when people look at me? What when you look at me? What am I,
Dude,
Andrew?
you know what? You know how many times I've heard a serious, like, we've gone out, right? Spencer and I are out somewhere, and you always get this. You don't look like a Jew.
I don't even understand what that means.
Listen. I don't either. Like I said, I don't look Italian. You know, and you guys know my real name. I'm not going to say it, but you know how Italian my actual name is.
Mario.
Yeah.
Dude, you might as
But,
well be like a picture of you on a pizza box. That's how.
Yeah,
Italian
right.
you are.
Exactly. Right. It's like.
Yeah.
Well, like I had somebody say to me, it's like like somebody I have to deal with at work, who I actually it's usually like through phone calls and stuff. And when I actually met him, he's like, really? And I'm like, that's you? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, I didn't expect you to be so red. And I'm like, well, it's summer. And he's like, no. I mean, like your beard, like it's like your hair, it's all red, like And I'm like, well, like red hair does grow like in Italy too. It's not just exclusive to Irish people, which is what I do get more of the time. Especially like the worst joke is like, oh, that sounds like a good Irish name. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. It's like,
Why do you get so mad?
because it's not a funny joke, and most of the time it's like it's like a boss or a manager who says it, so you have to laugh so they don't like to make them think that they're like
I love the
relevant outside of their office.
Utterly mundane stuff that upsets you so much emotionally.
It's-
This guy, I'm sitting at a bar with Spencer. Some broad comes over and says, "You don't look like a Jew," and he just goes, "Eh." Some guy saying you look red and you lose your mind.
No, I didn't lose my mind on the guy. It's just like I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I thought he was talking about like my sunburned skin, but he's like talking about my beard. It's like,
But what did my mother say to you?
Even the inflection of the Jew, the way that she said it, you don't look like a Jew.
Who, my mother? Are you talking about my mother, or are you talking about the girl at the bar?
The girl at the bar.
What did my mother
I
say
didn't
to you?
say what your mother said.
oh my god, I gotta hear this.
At
Yeah,
Thanksgiving,
I gotta hear
dude.
Andrew. I gotta hear Andrew say it because
Oh
he's
my
gonna
God.
do the voice too. So
We're at
This is-
Thanksgiving. We're at Thanksgiving, and I'm like carving the turkey. Spencer's sitting there. Spencer came to Thanksgiving.
Your grandmother's trying to put her tongue down my throat.
Jess's grandmother trying to make out with him.
oh my god.
Okay, because she
Oh,
she
some
does
night.
she's a masseuse, so she's like, you could use a massage, and like starts like rubbing him down.
Oh,
And my mother looks at him and he goes, Spencer, I'm gonna tell you, you don't look like a Jewish.
You know,
Okay. Okay. And I'm like, and all of a sudden, I just stopped. I'm like, oh, this is not the end. Like
Oh
normally
my
you would have
God.
met.
I'm
No,
sure
no,
it
no,
isn't.
my
I'm
mother.
sure it isn't.
And
Yeah.
he goes, thank you.
yeah, what do you say
He
to
goes,
that?
and she goes, my father looked like a Jewish. He had a big nose.
Oh my God.
Everybody just stopped.
Dude,
And she does not
First of all,
understand.
it just kept going. It kept
You're-
going. It wasn't
Oh
just
my
like
God.
one comment. Everyone just was silent and let her speak for like, it seemed like forever. It was probably about 3 or 4 minutes.
It felt like a
Until
45
finally
minute.
Andrew somehow intervened.
Yeah, Mein
was great.
Kampf came out somehow from under the table. She brought it out. She was reading passages from Mein Kampf at that point.
Oh my God.
And everybody's now trying to explain to her that what she's saying you can't say to someone. She's like, no, but it's true. Like my father had a big nose, and and a Jewish people have a big
my God.
nose, and Spencer's like dying because he knows like my mother doesn't process it,
Right,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I don't care.
And I think it
None
was
of that
her
shit bothers
husband.
me.
No, I thought that was the funniest thing. Like the whole room just stopped.
Dude, I was totally relaxed. I'm getting a rub down from like a 75-year-old woman. You know, it was
Oh
great.
my
We're
God.
drinking.
Yeah,
There's
well,
all
something
kinds
to
of
be
shit
thankful
happening.
for, you know.
You
Something to
know,
be
Jess's
thankful
mom
for.
was trying to uncover the pastries. I was watching that whole thing at the table. It was
Oh my
great.
God.
He never came back after that. He didn't come back for
Oh,
Thanksgiving
man.
the following year.
No, dude, I have to say that it was one of the most normal Thanksgivings I've ever had, and that includes the rub down from the grandma and your mother saying that I don't look like a Jew.
Like a Jewish. You don't
Like
look
a
like a
Jewish.
Jewish. I mean that's it's just classic.
Every 3 seconds, your brother wants to have a cigarette outside. I'm like,
Oh
dude,
my
I don't want
God.
to smoke.
You know, every time I'm here, Coco, you got a cigarette? I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, man, can you go? I'm like, you got a job now, right? Like, can't you just
Aren't
buy your
cigarettes
own,
like
man?
$40 a pack in New York
Yeah,
now?
Dude, it's
close
crazy.
to that, yeah. I mean, I honestly, I don't generally buy them around here. I buy
Why
them
do
up
you
by me.
you smoke still?
Honestly, I know it sounds crazy, but like,
It's not the 90s anymore.
I know I'm still trying to look cool. That's why I keep the 2 earrings in my left ear. But
My daughter was busting your balls today.
yeah, she was.
She's
She's,
like, "Why-"
she's not the only one. Listen,
She looked at him and said, "Why the fuck do you wear 2 earrings?"
Yeah, that's exactly what she said, and it's exactly how she said it. And I'm like, look, I got him when I was a kid, and I never took him out. What do you want me to
And
tell
she goes,
you?
"Why?"
And she goes, why not on the other side? And I'm like, well, I said, well, in my day, you didn't do that. She laughed. She I don't even think she understood what I meant.
Of course
but
she didn't.
She's like,
What she's 4.
yeah, no, well, I mean, she's telling me like, hey, why the fuck do you have 2 earrings in your left ear and not in your right? Like, what's going on here?
What are you, an idiot?
Yeah.
2 earrings in 1 ear?
She's like, Zio, oh, Manaj, what has happened in your left ear?
Yeah, yeah, but life is all very, very different for everybody now.
Dude, I mean, your kids are like little people now.
I got 2 kids. I got like
They're
2 kids,
adorable.
not babies, 2 kids.
They're fantastic kids.
I ended up getting a job at a strip club. What does that say?
Oh yeah, right.
No, I have to say though, I mean that's it a lot. But you're supporting your family, which is great. You need to make that happen. But you have beautiful children. I'm not just saying that. If they weren't, I wouldn't say a word. And they're good kids.
You know what? I always think that, like, if I had ugly kids, people know the kids are ugly. I'm just going to tell you this. Everybody knows if you got ugly kids, you know you have ugly kids.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody knows you got ugly kids. There's nothing you could do.
Yeah, that might be why my mother never told me how handsome I was.
There's
growing
no
up.
smoke and mirror that you could do with a kid. There's none. I mean, you look like a Cabbage Patch Kid when you were a kid.
You know what? Even
Even
after
now.
the weight loss, I look like like you might have thrown your Cabbage Patch into the microwave.
This is
And
what
it just
happened.
kind of like got all sunken in and everything. But yeah, dude, like I don't think I'm ever gonna like get away from that. I think I'm always gonna forever be a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Spencer, you there? There you go. I don't know what happened.
Because like
Just
nowadays,
muted out.
nowadays
back.
they have like all different Barbies of all different sizes. Maybe they're gonna have like a Cabbage Patch Kid now with like an eating disorder,
Well, you saw all the shit about the halftime
like a
show, right?
like a premature baby,
a preemie
yeah, a preemie
Cabbage,
Cabbage
Patch Kid?
Patch Kid.
Did you see the
Comes
halftime
with,
show?
comes with a plastic incubator. What's up?
Did you see the halftime show?
Yeah,
Did you find it offensive?
No, why would I find it offensive?
Did you hear that whole thing, Spence, about the halftime show and everybody found that super
I did.
offensive?
Of course I did.
What is going on?
This is the world.
So
This is the world we live in. I mean, come on. I mean, like we've. I mean, Andrew, you do wrestling. You do wrestling all the time, and it's
I do.
like, and it's like it's the same thing with football. It's like, as far as like what you can be considered like offensive, is it the violence or the sex? You know what I mean? It's like, in
Well,
wrestling.
in America, violence is always fine.
Oh well, that's what I'm saying though. It's like violence is more natural than sex, than nudity in America. You know what I mean? That's why The Dark Knight was PG-13 and something like American Pie was rated R. It's like tits rated R, blood PG-13.
Well, I'll give you an example. So I was listening to two ladies talk on the train on Monday.
Okay. Oh,
I would have hit the dump button, but I couldn't reach it. Jeez.
it's all right.
I was listening to two old ladies on the train talk about the Super Bowl, and they were talking about how the commercials were fine, but the halftime show was vulgar, and they didn't understand why they were doing what they were doing. And I watched it, and I'm like, this was pretty fucking tame.
Yeah.
The best comment that I saw, somebody told me, was they saw somebody complain on why they had a Cuban flag.
I heard about that.
And how they were promoting communism. That's the all-time best one.
That is the dumbest thing. I mean, she's Puerto Rican. She how can you not know the difference between, I get it. The colors are inverted between the Cuban and the Puerto Rican flag. But I think at this point, everybody should just know the difference between the Cuban and the Puerto Rican flag. And not to mention, it was a double-sided flag. One side was the Puerto Rican flag. The other side was the American flag. Get over it. It's ridiculous to be complaining about something as stupid as that. Especially when, it was a good halftime show. Not just because, you got to see more of J-Lo than you wanted to through her panties, but I think, it was a fun show. I'm not into the music, but it wasn't bad.
Look, the entire PC culture has become, at least in my world, and this is why I have to shut up. It's like an investment risk for people who I'm working with. I do not want to say a fucking word about any of this stuff anymore, because I came out a little un-PC, I guess, when I talked about our former president. I thought it was cool.
What? Oh, about Barack Obama?
Yeah, I thought it was cool, but I saw Coco cringe a little bit. I'm like, wait, Coco?
No. My point, the point that I was making was that people would cringe at that. I
Yes.
didn't repeat it as, a good-looking brother, because it's like people do cringe at stuff like that now. You meant it in the best possible way that you can mean anything, because you called him good looking and you called him a brother.
But why can't I be funny? Why can't I be funny? Why can't I be funny? Why can't we have fun anymore?
I watched the Chappelle documentary at your place, right? We watched that thing, the Chappelle special.
Oh,
we watched
dude,
it. I was in LA.
One of the most amazing.
That was fucking hilarious.
It
man.
was.
That guy's got balls.
He absolutely does, and
he uses the N word every other word, and you know what? It's fucking funny, man.
yes, and it's like people were tearing him apart about his thing too, about what he was saying about the car ride. And I just don't think people actually take the time to understand certain things that people are saying. I think that's one of the biggest problems, is they take it at face value. They don't understand certain what he was, the message that he was, trying to get across. It's not about gay people and transgender people not wanting to be in the car together. There's a deeper point that he was making.
Yeah, but here's the
people
problem.
don't get it.
But the reality is, I hate to say this, and this is not PC either, but most people are really stupid.
Oh, absolutely.
And
that's what it is.
And that is,
yeah.
And that is what it comes down to.
I 100%. People are dumb, but here's a big problem with this, with anything, right? And this has become the society. The internet, Twitter's a little vacuum. It's a minority of people's thoughts, right? This is how it works. What's happened is that microcosm on the internet has started dictating cultural shifts. Right. So now when Chappelle has a special like that goes off center just this much, that's the vocal minority. That's the group screaming about how everything is offensive, everything is bad, They hated it. They found it offensive. It's hysterics because everybody now watches things as a critic, not for enjoyment.
Right.
Same thing goes with sports. Everybody's a sports analyst. Everybody's a political analyst now.
Absolutely.
That's all you see. Everybody now is a TV critic, and they're giving you evaluations on, how they should have written it. I think it's nuts. Nobody views things to enjoy it. They're viewing it to criticize.
Right.
And that's the culture we're in now.
That's the sad thing. People are just trying to like catch you on like one little thing that they can talk. It's like Dave Chappelle said. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go back 10 years and find out something that you said. It's like, all right, who's that? Everybody's quiet. He's like, that's you. That's exactly what you do. It's like you take everything that everybody says and you use it against them. Instead of just like walking by. It's like people believe that freedom of speech ends when your opinion conflicts with theirs. It's like you have an idea about something and someone like gets and you want to express
not all people. It's a certain segment of the
no.
population
I'm
that is getting a tremendous amount of attention now.
Exactly, and I'm not saying that, but that's what you see, though.
But you see it on both sides.
I know it's not absolutely.
And what's
Right?
interesting, if you give this segment of the population, whatever side they're on, but who have these beliefs, just a really simple lesson in civics. And I don't want to get political here. They don't even understand what this country is all about. They don't even understand the basics of how this country functions. Yet they, the opinions that are put out there, it's basically just regurgitation of what they're watching on, different, I'm not going to even name the broadcast, but different news broadcasts.
Yeah, but it also becomes a thought bubble on the internet, right? Like people want to latch on to popular thought beliefs.
Of course,
and popular opinion because they don't want to be the outcast. They don't want to be the one that says, wait a minute, guys, I think you guys are a little off. Joe Rogan, for example, was used in a Bernie Sanders endorsement thing in a political video where he somewhat endorses Bernie Sanders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you got the #1 podcast saying he likes him. Okay, he likes him as a person. I don't know if he believes in him politically or follows it, but he was on a show and he had a good time with him. There's a whole group of people that support Bernie Sanders that are saying this guy's problematic. He subscribes to the misogynistic thought process. He's a right-wing cell. He's here to infiltrate. I'm like, why can't you let people just enjoy what they enjoy? Why does everything have to be for you?
I was sitting right at the next table from Joe Rogan last week, just a few nights ago, at a Brazilian barbecue place. What are they called? Churrascarias?
Churrascaria?
Meat.
I don't even know, but I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about. Where they bring the meat to your table, they ask you what color
Yeah.
you want, like like medium, like dark
Yeah.
red, pink, whatever. Yeah. Those
Now, I
places
didn't want
are
to
great.
bug him. But I'm telling you, he knows who the fuck I am. He was looking at me, and as soon as I made eye contact, he looked away. Now, the reason I know this is because we have had communications in the past, many years ago. And, look, I've been doing the Bald Show for a long time, and I was doing the Bald Show in L.A. But this guy, I can tell you, just looking at his body language and seeing him enjoy himself at his table, he doesn't give a shit about any of this stuff. He is just, allowing it to happen.
Rogan? How tall is he?
I would say that at one point he probably was taller because he's older now. He's like close to my age.
But he's built like a tank, right?
Yeah, he's built like a tank. I would say he's probably around the 5'8" range or 5'7", maybe. He was probably a little bit taller when he was younger. But, yeah, I mean, the guy, and he's got this sturdy fucking head, man. Like this jaw, he's just like he's like a truck. This guy, he's like built like a tank.
So I just want to give you a little
But,
update of what my life is like, and you get back to it. I got a message from intern Deacon right now, and he writes, some old Asian guy slammed on the hood of a car and started screaming, "What the F are you doing?" And then he writes to me, "I'm being followed by a car right now." He hasn't responded after that.
Oh no.
They may have taken him away. That may be that's my. Oh, there he is. What happened to the car following you? I know. I just spoke about it. Thank you. You're alive. Good. A red SUV was. He ate mushrooms or something. What do they want to do? Rob you? Thank you. They tried to kidnap him, put him into.
Wouldn't it be too hard though?
The kidnap Deacon?
Yeah,
they would
it
return
would.
him.
They would
Yeah.
return him, but like
Yeah.
you
No, dude. So,
you could just put him in your pocket.
But
like,
back to
no
what I was
problem.
saying with Rogan, let the guy do his podcast. Who cares what he says? If you don't like it, just don't listen. Why is that so difficult?
Because
'Cause
people
everyone
just
has a
can't-
fucking voice now.
Exactly, and people just can't let people be. And the crazy thing is, the people who want, who are trying to change everything, want everything to adhere to what they want. It's like, this guy's offensive, he shouldn't be here, but you should listen to what I have to say about this. And it's like, it's just so crazy right now that one of the most important things that people try to bring up is the issue of free speech. It's like, oh, you can't shut me up. This is my free. It's like, no one's trying to shut you up. I'm just trying to talk to you. I'm trying to let you know what I think about what you're doing, but you don't want to hear it because you think that, it's real easy to throw certain words around to try and shut people up, but you can't let it. It's like someone calls you like a racist, and it's like, well, I'm not a racist, so I can't stand here and talk anymore. I
I've
don't wanna
never
be-
been called a racist in my life.
But we live in unique times because we definitely all live in our own filter bubble. That's basically run by social media. So for
Well, look
instance,
at yours, dude.
you
Your
know,
bubble's bizarre.
Well, I have a bizarre bubble for sure.
I
But
experienced it.
But as far as what's being sent to me, through social media, as far as what I'm reading, it's all filtered by things that I'm interested in, stuff that Facebook hears me say on my phone or whatever. So if you have any type of confirmation bias, it's being reinforced. That confirmation bias is being reinforced by what's being sent to you through social media. You're reading your own views over and over and over again, and seeing how many people agree with your views, whether they are based on actual information or facts, or whether they're just based on hearsay. So
Right.
people's ideas and the propaganda is just reinforced.
Oh yeah,
So,
big time.
But the reality is, essentially it's stupidity. People are unable to see both sides of the view.
Well, here's how it always
whatever the
works.
situation is.
The way that society always worked is, okay, fine. You grew up in a bubble. Every kid, right? Every kid grows up in a bubble, and that bubble's their parents' thoughts, their relatives' thoughts, their friends' thoughts, and maybe it could kind of skew, but generally it kind of stays the same if you're in a community.
Right.
You go away to college, and then you're enlightened by all these different thoughts. And then you maybe come back, and you've kind of evolved as a person a little bit because you've kind of seen one side and maybe another side, and you've experienced different things. But now what's happened is Reddit is a great example of this, right? Reddit.com.
I've never looked at Reddit. I
Reddit
don't
is like
even-
the front page of the internet. Essentially, everything that's happening in the world is on the front page of Reddit. But if you subscribe to let's say certain threads or certain groups on Reddit, subreddits,
yeah.
you're only going to see that. So you're canceling every other thought except the one that you
Right.
subscribe to, and it becomes a chamber of the same thing fed to you,
Right.
where you never evolve.
Right. I mean,
People
That's
don't
the thing,
evolve.
the
and-
internet's created more political and just life polarization than we've ever seen in the history of our world.
look,
That's just the way that it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's all you see everywhere. It's like people from either side, totally blowing up your news feed. Whether they love a certain thing, a certain candidate or person this much, and how much they hate the other side and all that stuff. And it's just so ridiculous how easily people can just, totally not even just dismiss you, but just insult you for saying this is how crazy the internet has got. And I saw a post about the Joker, the Joker
Oh
movie,
yeah.
the soundtrack, how the composer of the soundtrack is up for an Oscar for it, and I'm like, I think that's great. I think she deserves this Oscar. I have the soundtrack. I think I listened to it. It's the score.
You bought
and
a soundtrack
dude, I
to
buy
a movie?
scores. I have an insane collection of movie scores on vinyl. It's been 5 years, guys. You don't know anything about me. So I own the Joker score on vinyl. I actually have 2 copies of it, but we'll get into that another time. So, and I think it's a fantastic.
By the way.
And it's a fantastic score. Like the movie, like I said, I feel like she does deserve the Oscars, much like she deserved the Golden Globe, and Joaquin Phoenix deserves Best Actor. And this guy says, "Well, I guess you can relate to the hate." And I'm like,
what does that
what
mean?
the fuck is this guy
What
talking
does that
about?
mean?
I have no idea.
Hate?
And of course, I try to.
Is he talking about the character, or is he talking about like in real life?
I mean, I said I don't understand what this means, and he was going into this whole thing about how there's a bit of the Joker in all liberals, and
oh
liberals
my God,
are
I
the
saw
joke.
that.
I read that to you before the
yeah.
show, and I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Like, I looked at his page, sometimes you do to see what you're dealing with,
Yeah.
and this guy is like all Trump, and that's fine.
By the way, I got to tell you something. And I'm gonna cut you off here, Spence.
Yeah.
I got Coco's friend list. You have the most deranged fucking friends on
Who, me?
Facebook. Yeah.
Oh,
But I got to
absolutely.
tell you got a clean house. These guys are mutants.
Yeah.
You only are
Honestly,
friends with
they're-
me. I know maybe like 3 friends that you have
Right.
that are
Listen,
semi-normal.
Like I said, man, all right. This is one thing that's
Sewer
this
dwellers.
This is one thing that's remained for the last 5 years is that I've run into a lot of people I meet through like Guar fan pages, Danzig fan
Oh
pages.
my
Well,
God.
listen, some of them are a little, some of
Dude,
them
tell
are a
me
little
about it. I'm the
wild.
same way.
You're
Right.
40.
some of them, some of them can be wild, and that's fine with me. If anybody,
Wild,
listen,
wild's not the word. Wild is not the word. I'm going to
well,
tell
it
you.
all depends on how you look at it.
These are creatures.
well,
dumpster
I mean,
people.
But that's the thing, though. We pride ourselves on being creatures.
No,
you know what I mean?
no. There's no pride. I got to tell you, these are really conflicted
Yeah, I mean, look,
adults.
listen.
There's no reason why you should be that conflicted at
listen,
40 years old.
Have you ever seen the Hair Loss World, dude?
Oh, I know. They're monsters.
I become friends with people that I meet through groups and stuff like that, and it's like sometimes you do talk to these people. Like I've become really close friends just through the internet with people. I know people find that to be weird or whatever, but it's just how it is.
How do we become friends?
Who?
You guys became friends on the
All
internet.
of
We
us.
became
Internet,
friends. Yeah, all of us.
exactly.
Okay, but
And
here's
I
the
know
thing.
Spencer thinks that I think at this point Spencer knows that Andrew's like 10 times crazier than I am.
I practically live with Spencer. I go and visit him every couple months.
I know. And
He lives in my studio.
I sleep in an air mattress in his studio. And by the way, one of the most comfortable sleeps I've ever had is on that stupid air mattress.
I was gonna say I'm trying to remember why I picture you sleeping on an air mattress.
But I'm gonna tell you, no.
I
in
just
all
picture you
seriousness,
waking up
your
at like
friends,
2 a.m, grabbing a glass of orange juice in a white robe, and just like getting back on that air mattress and spilling it all over the place.
your friends
Mhm.
compiles of the mentally ill X-Men. They're all fucked up mutants. All of them.
I mean, like I said, like
one guy walks around with an eye hanging out. The other one's missing limbs.
Yeah,
He has a piece of glass
right, and then
coming out of his
then
foot.
you come across my page, and there's a picture of me like screaming.
Come on,
into
Andrew.
the
I was
camera
at your kid's christening.
with-
I mean, that was some crew.
Tell me about it. That's not my side. I'll tell you. But
But listen, man,
you
you
entertain
sometimes
these
listen,
weird
well,
groups.
listen. Sometimes you find a common ground with some people, and that's how you become friends. You know what I mean? You find out that you have more in common than just Guar or just Danzig or just
They're all cop
Black
haters.
Dahlia murder. Huh?
All of your friends are cop haters on Facebook.
Well, see, but that's the thing. Like this whole thing that just recently happened in New York City last week. Like, dude, I mean, how often do you see me post like stories?
I experienced that, by the way.
I feel terrible for you.
Do you want to take a break and then come back and talk about this?
Yeah,
Spence,
absolutely.
you need a break?
I'm gonna get a Slim Jim. Yeah.
Okay, good.
right,
I'm gonna play some royalty-free music. So I don't know what I'm playing right now. I downloaded some stuff. This says 1980s rock. 888-659-3727. We'll be back right after this.
you do. Follow you anywhere. If our chances are getting brighter, but I want you to know I can't help but fight this feeling. I want you to try. Imagine living without it, without it. So let's go. Heaven is worth fighting for, you know. I've been standing right next to you, next to you. Oh, I know it won't be easy, but it's true. We will regret what we didn't do, what we didn't do, what we didn't do. I know you're feeling it too. This short is something. I know that this will take us higher. I'll do whatever you do. Let's take cover before our chances are getting darker. But I want you to know I can't help but fight this feeling. I want you to try. Imagine living without it, without it. So let's go. Heaven is worth fighting for, you know. I've been standing right next to you, next to you. Oh, I know it won't be easy, but it's true. We will regret what we didn't do, what we didn't do. I think I can't feel my feelings sometimes. Got misdirected, you know what to say. And I was telling myself many lies, just like the old days. So is that what you want? We'll bring it in. Another level and you feel like winning. It will be tough and we will surely be paying the price. Don't know about you, but I feel we're winning. So let's go. Heaven is worth fighting for, you know. I've been standing right next to you, next to you. Oh, I know it won't be easy, but it's true. We will regret what we didn't do, what we didn't do. We will regret what we didn't do, what we didn't do.
Back, everybody. The return of the free for all after 5 years. 888-659-3727. At 888-659-3727. I'm here. Coco's here. Spencer's here. The gang's back. We're going to do this monthly. I think this is what we're going to do.
Yeah,
That was some of the best royalty-free music I've heard in a
I'm
long
cool
time.
with that.
You're cool with that.
I'm
888-659-3727. I feel like I'm back in the groove now.
Yeah.
I feel like this is what it took me like 40 minutes to kind of get back.
Mhm.
I kind of forgot how doing a show is like a show like this.
Right. When you don't
Spencer,
have
you
the
back
pill
in the
kicked
groove?
in.
The pill kicked in, dude.
Look, I wasn't running the show. I was always in the groove. I'm waiting for you.
I know you've been waiting. You
So?
told me. You're like, why are you canceling the show? I'm like, I'm not canceling. My daughter wants to say goodnight. Bye. Good night. Say goodnight
Night.
to Zio.
Good night. I love you.
This is my life now. The great example of the change over 5 years.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is wild, dude. I got 2 kids.
2 of them. And they're both adorable.
And they're both
great kids.
adorable. I got good kids. 888-659-3727.
I'm doing the show from Beverly Hills.
Dude, you're in Beverly Hills. I'm still in Queens.
I'm
Totally new
still-
life.
It's a whole new world we're all in. So we were talking about before the break. I want to talk about what happened in New York City last Friday. There was a protest. There was a protest against the police and against the MTA and for free fares, and essentially it was everything.
You know,
And I experienced it on my way home.
you poor thing.
I saw people act like animals, essentially.
I gotta be
It's-
honest.
I've never witnessed a
anarchy,
thing
my
like this.
man.
It's
It's
utter
fucking
anarchy.
Andrew, I rarely feel bad for you, but like knowing that you were in the midst of all that shit, like literal shit, like people throwing shit.
I
Like,
could not believe what I saw.
I've only seen pictures and like videos and stuff. Like
Now-
actually, I don't even think I saw videos, but just like pictures and stuff. And I'm like, I felt really bad for anybody.
Now
who
let
had to
me
be there
just
who wasn't a
explain what I
part of it.
saw. What you saw on TV made it far worse than it was. Okay, it looked a lot. It was like 40 minutes of nonsense.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's
That's what I
what it
read. I
was.
read
It-
it was like a half an hour and only.
yeah,
Like
because all
500
these
people,
yuppies, and it was all probably spoiled kids from the suburbs. I mean, or kids that are living in Brooklyn. That's really, if you want me to stereotype what this group was, it was all yuppies from Brooklyn protesting for free fare. They want the MTA to work on
you
tax
still call them
dollars.
yuppies? They're still
They are
yuppies?
yuppies. Yeah, they're still yuppies.
Wow.
Yuppies, hipsters, whatever you want.
Whatever
It's,
you want.
Yeah, people who eat avocado toast.
Fuck avocado. I hate avocado. Fuck it. I'm gonna say it. I don't like avocado.
Yeah, it's gonna come up in the chat now. How could you say that about avocados,
I like
man?
avocados.
You uncultured swine.
You know who
It's a
gets shit?
California fruit.
I know it is a California fruit. You know what else is a California fruit? A kumquat. That's also a
Kumquats.
California. Yeah, kumquats are California fruit.
I had kumquats outside of my house in Calabasas.
That's what she said.
Oh yeah.
I could not believe what was happening, and I feel so bad for these cops that have to deal with these lunatics. I feel bad for the MTA workers, the poor people that are trying to get the fucking home,
Yeah.
or get wherever they're going. I'm like, what? You're not making a point.
And that's
And you know how I know it didn't work? You know how I know they were a bunch of fools?
Mhm.
All of a sudden, the media coverage dropped, right? Nobody was talking about it.
right.
And channels that you would imagine would be campaigning and championing this whole entire movement, nobody said shit.
Right.
You know why? Because they all look like fools.
Like I said, I rarely like discuss or like even post anything about stuff like this, but this just like totally like, it really enraged me. It made me very pissed off that was happening. For people are complaining that a train ride is $2.75, but dude, with that $2.75, you can get to any part of the city, anywhere, and transferring from one train to another, you can go from Brooklyn to Queens or to the Bronx, whatever. But it's like it's not just the $2.75 that they were protesting against. They were protesting, or you know what? Let's call it what it was. They were rioting against the police, too.
Yeah.
Not just
Yeah.
the fact that there are police, but the fact that there are police at these
Doing their
turnstiles.
jobs.
But they've posted NYPD at these turnstiles
Turnstile with the AR-15.
well, to make sure that people don't jump the turnstile.
No,
and
that's
what they-
not it. Do you know how this whole thing started? This whole shit started. Somebody posted a photo of a cop in Penn Station. I got an echo coming from Spencer, and I don't know why. Your mix minus, I think, is off, by the way. I think I got to fix this when I'm out there. Whatever. I could deal with it. So the whole thing started with a photo of a cop with an AR-15 by a turnstile. And this girl wrote, this is how they're treating us. Hopping a turnstile is equivalent to whatever. First of all, the cop and all these people are writing like, "Oh my God, that's disgusting. They're power hungry. They're pigs. This and this and this." It's a anti-terrorism task force cop, and it was during 9/11.
Mhm.
That's why he was there. Every day in Penn Station, it's like this.
Oh, yeah.
There are anti-terrorism. There's state cops. There's MTA police.
Yeah, there's
I
even-
want as many cops as possible.
absolutely
Because the lunacy that I see on a daily basis when I go to Penn Station, I swear to God, today, I watched two homeless people smoking something out of a bowl. And it wasn't pot. I don't know what it was. And they start fighting randomly next to people waiting for the train. This is the world we're in.
Yeah.
I want to get on the fucking train. I want to get to my job. I don't want people begging me for shit. I don't want people performing. I don't want to see any of it. I just want to get to work.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, listen, I go through Grand Central.
No performing, really?
I don't want. You've taken my money. I don't want to fund your basketball
dude,
team.
I'm sorry, man. Like,
I've given too much money for this.
listen, the performing on the subway trains, like it's
The
gotten out of
mariachi
hand.
band. No. The mariachi band. I always give money to.
No,
by
but
the way.
but the mariachi band.
What about
it's just,
what about the chocolate bars for the kids' basketball?
for the basketball team. Yeah.
I listen. These guys who do like backflips and all that stuff, like, listen, you guys are talented, but please don't do it when I'm on that train, man. I don't want to get kicked in the face. I don't want your feet flying anywhere near where I might have a bloody nose by the end of the trip.
By the way, there's. I'll give you an example. One guy plays the saxophone on the E platform. I give him money every now and then.
All right.
Nice guy. He's playing the saxophone. He's very talented. He's on rough times. I give him money. I'm not funding your basketball team. I've funded too many basketball teams in my lifetime at this point. Every week I'm funding a basketball team for
dude,
$1.
I mean, sometimes you get to the point where you're just like, no.
No more.
Like
You've gotten enough.
Listen, the Starbucks that I got our coffees from tonight it's up by me, and like every now and then there's a kid out there with a box. I don't even know what's in the box. It's like they just say, "Excuse me, sir." No, sorry. Sometimes I just walk by them and I know it's fucked up, but like I just don't want to deal with it. I just want to get my coffee,
Best.
go home. You know,
Dude, let me tell you where I'm at my age. I drive up to Ralph's in, a CLS AMG, and there's a fucking girl, a girl and her mother selling Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
And I'll just walk right by them. I won't even acknowledge that they exist. That's where I am at this point.
I like that. That's Spencer's version of the kids funding the basketball team. It's a girl and their mother in a Mercedes selling Girl Scout cookies.
Well, like I said,
but my point is, I used to give to everybody. I'm like, I am a fucking bleeding heart, man.
listen,
and I'm at the point now where I'm just sick of it.
You know what my cutoff was?
exactly. Like, see, like I feel like like my cutoff was a while ago because like I said, I go through Grand Central every day. If my train's a little late, I get off at Harlem, 125th Street to get the train from there to work.
I'm sorry.
I step outside for a cigarette. Guy comes up to me. He's like, "Hey man, you got an extra cigarette?" No. Come on, no. How about a blanket? You got a blanket? I'm like, no.
A blanket?
A blanket.
What does that mean?
It wasn't even cold. It was like springtime.
Maybe a blanket doesn't mean a blanket.
Maybe it doesn't, but I didn't want to stick around and find out. I just wanted to finish my cigarette, get back in the train station, and just
You got one sock?
exactly like it's so crazy. Like,
You got a cardigan in there?
listen, man, where I work, man, like needles everywhere. You got to look out for this stuff. Human shit on the floor.
Yikes.
I mean, I live in Los Angeles, dude.
Yeah,
yeah,
In
all right,
my-
I'm
the
sorry.
human shit
In
capital
my
of the world.
area. In my area.
Beverly
okay?
Hills.
And right
worst-
across the street, there is a homeless encampment.
Uh-huh.
Right across the street. Now, everyone's like, "Oh, wow, a big deal, homeless encampment." We're not talking about Hollywood, which is bad enough. That's insane at this point. We're not talking about, the outskirts of town. We're not talking about just the inner city. We're talking about Beverly fucking Hills. This is our country now. This is the way that it is.
This is how it is.
Wherever
you
you
can't say
live,
shit. Yeah.
You can't say shit. You can't do shit.
Nope, that's it.
You know?
It's over. Game over. But my cutoff with funding everybody.
I'm moving to Uruguay.
Listen, you're better off. This is God's honest truth. I'm not adding a ounce of storytelling to this.
Okay.
I'm waiting for my train in Penn Station. Okay, I'm in Penn. Kid comes over, has to be like 11 years old, and he does this spiel. I'm funding my basketball team. I'm trying to stay off the streets. I'm trying to blah 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 blah. He does his whole spiel, and I'm like, no man, I don't have cash. He looks at me and he goes, then why the fuck did you waste my time? 11 years old.
Wow.
I was like, am I going to fight an 11-year-old now? waiting for my Port Washington line, Long Island Railroad. I'm in a fucking
You
suit.
should have just looked at him and said, listen, I actually just taught you a lesson. In your life, you're going to waste your time trying to pitch something to somebody, and they're just going to turn you down.
I couldn't
Have a
believe
great day.
He did the whole spiel. Then he's like, "Why the fuck did you just waste my time if you're not going to give it to me?"
That
I
is
was like, you know
awesome.
what? At least he has balls.
Yeah, true.
He's going to go far
True.
in life. That kid.
Well, you know, if he couldn't
Maybe not.
sell you
To
on
an
it,
island.
Yeah, right.
Far to an island.
I'm going to Wyoming. That's where I'm
Yeah.
going to live.
888-659-3727. Let's get another caller on. Come on, guys. I know it's the first time we're back. Actually, the viewership is not bad for the first time we're back.
Yeah.
But I got to say that, you know, and I'm certainly not an elitist by any stretch of the imagination. But when I walk around this city, my beautiful city of Los Angeles, and all the different cities, from the Valley to to Beverly Hills, and I see what's happening to this place. Then I fly back to New York, my hometown, and I see what a fucking shithole that's turned into. I mean, you can understand. I grew up in the '70s when New York was supposed to be really bad.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It is worse. Forget. Okay, there's no graffiti in the subways.
Yes, there is.
As far
it's
as
back. It's back.
Is it
coming
back?
Yeah.
Well, I have to be honest with you. I haven't taken a subway in 20 years. So I don't know.
I salute you.
But you know,
I avoid the
look,
subway
Andrew's
as
like
often as I
you
can.
coming out. He's like you come out to the Bayside. He's like,
No.
you're right there. You can take the subway and you can take the. You can
took
take
an
the,
Uber.
You can take the train. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? There's no fucking way. I worked my ass off so I didn't have to be with those fucking animals, and that sounds terrible.
Well, but dude, that's how it
That's
is.
what's
Like,
happened.
Listen, I've avoided like certain concerts that I really wanted to go to just because I didn't want to take the subway to Brooklyn. You know, I'm just like fuck that. I don't want to go. Like Guar, you recently played in Brooklyn, and I'm like, yeah, I can't make it. Honestly, I don't want to go to Brooklyn. I don't want to do it.
If I can't sit in my car, I can't take an Uber. And first of all, let's talk about Ubers in New York. You get an Uber Black in New York, you might as well just be driving in somebody. I mean, just get a regular Uber, because these
Dude, it's like
cars. I mean, it's unbelievable what these guys don't take care of their fucking cars, and it's really sad because they have like a 1997 Lincoln Navigator, black Navigator.
Do you know?
Seats are
okay,
all
you know
disgusting.
this.
And they're like, would you like some gum? I'm like, I'm not going to touch anything in this fucking car.
Isn't Uber Black like the more expensive option?
Yes. I
is,
took an
that's the
Uber
point.
Black the other day. I got the biggest piece of shit car I've ever seen.
Wow.
You know what I get if I call a regular Uber here? I'm not even joking, Spence. I get Accessoride.
Yeah.
No. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
Joe
I
from
get
Staten Island
Accessoride
picks you
now.
up. Yeah, dude. Here in Los Angeles, still at least it's a car culture here. People keep their car, and the weather's good. So I mean, you get an Uber Black, you are talking about like kind of a late model Suburban or something. Sometimes you get like a Mercedes S Class because you're paying for it.
Yeah,
in New York,
sometimes you get it.
it's
Sometimes you get it.
it's ridiculous.
You get now. You know what you get for Uber Black in New York? Before you would get Mercedes. That you would get a Mercedes all the time. You get a nice car. Now you're getting like a beat up Infinity.
Dude, you get an Infinity that was painted in Earl Shives.
I've never done Uber Black. I've done what do you call it? Uber Share or whatever it's called.
Why would anybody do a shared ride?
Because I don't give a shit.
No, you got it. Why would anybody save the dollar?
Honestly, no. It was like $3 or $4 when I've done it. And to be honest, most of the time that I do it, I'm in the car by myself. Honestly, there may have been like, let's say out of 10 times, there were maybe 3 times I had to share an Uber with someone.
Now,
I didn't know.
you have to stay by yourself because people stop. You're in the car and they stop and they don't want to get in.
What's that? No. Like the driver doesn't get any calls.
What what are you talking about?
All right, you know what?
It's a little
what do you-
joke. Listen, let's take a phone call.
Yeah, let's say
Okay.
All right. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this and where are you calling from? Hey, man.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, and you're very loud, but I have to keep you that loud for Andrew because he can't hear you.
I can't hear anything.
He's old.
Okay.
Go ahead, man.
All right. I called. My name is Winnin from China. You might remember me. I called about 9 months ago, which seems about 9 days ago.
Were you calling? You called 9 months ago to what show?
To this show. The
T-
bald truth.
This isn't the
Yeah.
bald truth, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the bald truth.
We're doing another show, the free for all. You know what? This guy's just watching the show on YouTube,
That's
and he thinks
awesome.
that we're live on the bald truth. What can I do
That's
for you,
great.
man? We'll do a bald truth call.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I called about 9 months ago and explained my situation. I've had I started back in 1980, the mid 80s. Had my first procedure. Can you hear me, by the way?
I can hear you fine. Can everyone who's listening to the free for all hear this?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Anyway, so I was, you can imagine what it was like in the 80s. And
Can I imagine?
And,
That was when doctors wanted to fucking put plugs into my head, and I was like, wait a second, guys, where are you going to put the hair?
you were smarter than I was, but I was hit by the big V word. You know what the V word is, right?
The V word, the big V
Yeah.
word. Let's see, the V word.
Vaginosis.
V for victory. Vaginosis.
No, that's not Viagra. Okay, it's vulnerability.
Vulnerability. Okay.
And I was extremely. I mean, the first guy that I went to. This was in Texas at the time.
Now, dude, I have to repeat myself, and I'm glad that you're calling in, and I'd love to help you, but I'm actually doing a broadcast. It's another broadcast right now. It's called the Free for All, and there's a bunch of people who are not interested in hair loss listening to this. Now, I think it's a good call,
I'm very interested.
and I don't know what Andrew Zarian, who's the host of the show, thinks, but we're gonna have to keep it short. I'll try to help you out really quickly, and then you can call in during our Friday night show, during the Ball Truth
Okay,
hours.
good. So the best time to call is Friday evening, right?
Best time to call is Friday evening between 2 p.m. Pacific time and 4 p.m. Pacific time.
Oh, 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Pacific time. I have to write that down. Right. Just quickly, let me just put a plug in. I've had my fifth procedure with Dr. Body in India. Very, very satisfied. The man is a professional in every sense of the word. And I'm living in China right now, by the way. So that's one reason why I made it to
So you're calling.
India.
So Andrew, is this the first call from China to the free for all?
I think no, it's not to the free for all. Yes, but I've taken calls when I used to do the Apple stuff, the Apple coverage from
Ah.
China before.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What time is
Alright, dude,
it
listen.
in China? It's
Listen,
the next day.
What time is it in China? What day is it? What time is it?
It is 9:30 in the morning.
Listen, dude, I'm glad you had a good experience
Future.
with Dr. Body. We're going to let you go. Call in to the Bald Show next Friday between 2 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Pacific here in the U.S. All right, man?
Will do, man.
All right.
Thanks for taking my call.
You got it. Good luck.
Dude, I gotta
Hey,
tell
good
you.
night, whatever.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Good morning.
Good night.
Holy
Morning.
shit.
I gotta
This
tell
is
you,
my fucking life.
You know what?
It
I
never
love it.
ends.
I
by
love
the
this
way.
guy. I love this guy. You know why? 5 years we took off. Nothing has fucking changed. Not a thing has changed. It is this to a T describes everything in my career that we're doing the free for all. 5 years we haven't done anything, and I get a random Ball Truth phone call on the show, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, you got a new Joe,
It-
bro.
It never fucking ends, my man.
Kid Cairo in our
tw-
chat room says
I-
that was Deacon.
Dude, I've been doing this since June of 1998. 22 years.
Mhm.
22 years. And you know what? Always kept it quiet, kept it small. Nobody thought we can last.
Mhm.
And we got these poor guys who are still calling in.
888-659-3727. I mean,
Your career is old enough to drink now.
by the way, you want to know what a rock star
Yeah.
Spencer is? I went to England with him. Okay, we went to England for a hair event. The can I mention what it was, or
Sure.
we went for the Follicular Unit Extraction Conference. I just want to show my award here, Spencer.
Oh, you took my fucking award.
I took your
I gave it
award.
to
You
you.
see that?
the FUE 8th annual meeting. This is the award. I stole it from him. I said, you know what?
That
I
is
fucking
so
deserve this
fucking
award.
funny.
I stole it from the
I'm
hotel
like,
room.
I'm like, yeah, you could have people scramble for those things in this industry, and they put them up on their social media. Like, look what I got.
I got
I'm
it
so
here.
humbled. I gave
Yeah.
it to Andrew.
He gave it to me. He's like, listen, you deserve this. This guy is walking around this whole event with the biggest dick ever. It's like he's such a star. He's putting this thing over his shoulder,
Okay.
and people are in awe by him. I'm getting people that are stopping me and saying, oh my God, you work with Spencer? They're giving me messages to give to him because they're intimidated to go up to him. He was a rock star. Your crew, by the way,
That's very-
your crew of boys, a riot, all of them.
Which one?
I don't want to go into details, but your fucking crew, a riot.
See, you liked my talk. I saw it back and I was like, you know what? I could have been a little bit better. But you said I brought down the house, and I
Oh
appreciate
yeah,
it.
yeah. People were gasping. It was like Elvis doing his pelvis thrust in the 50s, and how people
So
were
fucked
shocked.
up.
That's what it was.
Spit on the mic.
People were going like this.
You make me laugh.
The whole time. I think you quoted the great Dr. King at one point.
Martin Luther King. But I basically just told these guys, I said, listen, this industry is falling apart. If you guys don't give a shit enough about it to affect some change, then you should get up right now and walk out of this room. Because in the not too distant future, you guys aren't going to fucking have a job. And people just were like, I think you said that guy said, this is a different kind of talk.
That's what the guy said,
Audio
yeah.
video guy?
Mhm.
Yeah. So we went to Manchester. I got to tell you, man, weird city.
Okay.
I'll tell you that. We stayed in a hotel.
Dude, this is where these protesters should live. If you really want to see what it's like to live in a
Go to Manchester.
quasi-socialistic society,
Uh,
go to fucking Manchester, England.
So you know Jodamax? Remember Jodamax?
Yeah, I remember.
He came. We hired him.
Okay.
Jodamax and John, we hired to produce and help with the event.
Okay.
Joe was our escort around the city.
All right.
He couldn't even fucking believe what he was seeing.
Okay.
Okay, he couldn't believe it. The food was terrible. There's no good food in that whole city. We finally found a joint that served burgers decently the last day under a fucking train. It was bizarre. The hotel, dude. The hotel was beautiful, right? It was an old insurance building from the Edwardian era, right?
Dude, it smelled like it was 150 years old, though.
It smelled like cigarettes and liver.
Yeah, it was really, you know, the bar club there, that was pretty happening. It was cool. But I
Oh,
mean,
that
the
broad.
wine and it was just like, oh my god.
How about that broad started fighting with us and telling us how miserable our American lives are? And then she tells me
and
that she makes...
asked me if I was a capitalist, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
She came
She's
over
like,
and asked
so
us if
you
we're
basically
capitalists.
you basically want to shit on the poor, and you want to hoard all the money. I'm like, I don't think you understand what capitalism is. And it was a very interesting. Well, we were drunk for 4 days though.
Yeah, we were drunk
Very
for 4
fine.
days. I don't know how we did anything. And then I came back and I got an email asking if I want to go back to work. That was my, and I made all these connections. I was about to launch this whole thing.
Oh, you were stoked.
I was done. I was set. I was like, I'm counting my money already. I'm counting all the money I'm going to make. And then I get a phone call asking
But you
if
know,
I want to.
that experience, that was an interesting experience for me because I had such a big role in it, and it was kind of like FUE Europe and IHRS, and it was a combined meeting. And I made a decision after that meeting to never do that again.
You're not doing it again, huh?
I will. If I decide to go to a meeting or take part in a meeting, it'll be my own meeting.
Mm.
I will never work with another organization or anything that involves any type of physician rule because it's just sadly it's a mess. You saw what was happening.
I did see what was happening, but I'll tell you, I had fun though with you. It was a weird city, but we had a lot of fun.
It was a good time.
Yeah,
It was a good time.
flew first
Fucking,
class.
your boy John Cole. I mean, I've never seen anybody drink so much Coca-Cola in my life.
Guy's a cocksmith.
He
Dude's a cocksmith.
Yeah.
He's rocking and rolling. This guy.
All right. Okay.
A lot of the John Coles are cocksmiths, huh?
They are.
They are. 888-659-3727. So, I mean, it's been a while since we did this. It's going to become
We have another call.
Yeah, let's do it.
We can see it. We can see if it's actually a call for the free for all or for the ball truth.
Let's take
Yeah.
this bet. What do you say?
Who knows? Hey man, you're on the air. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, is this Matt Man?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Matt Men. What's going on? I'm Matt. This is Men.
No, it's Anthony. I'm just messing with you guys.
What's going on, man?
Anthony Campanella. What's up?
How you doing, brother?
No, I just thought that was a great call. I don't know Joe from Staten Island's voice, but I thought it was him, just kind of incognito, calling in to mess with you guys. But
Yeah, I don't think Joe. I don't think Joe is. I don't know. Maybe he's changed, but I think that from the last time I heard from him, he probably doesn't have the mental prowess to fuck with us.
Yeah, I don't know. He could
Yeah.
dial a phone call
But,
anymore.
Yeah, sadly.
yeah, I just want to say thanks for bringing the show back, Andrew. I think it's a great idea. Once a month, once a week, once whenever. It's awesome, and I wish you guys luck. I'll be tuning in whenever I can and drink with you guys. So.
Dude, you know what I
Awesome,
find
man.
interesting?
Thank
I don't think any of us is having a drink.
I am.
You are.
Yeah, I'm having tequila and soda. That's my new jam.
I think it's just
Oh
one.
wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
tequila and soda. By the way, Anthony's like a real boy. Can I just mention that?
What does that mean? Like,
He's
sure.
a real boy.
What do you mean?
He's not fake. He's not like an
Oh,
internet
all
person.
right,
Like I've
all
met
right.
him in real life.
I thought you were saying
We've had dinners
I thought you were
together.
trying to tell me that he was like, carved from wood. And
Another one, by the way.
finally-
He was carved from wood and finally
Finally,
became a real
yeah.
boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Geppetto's his father, and the whole
Right,
thing
yeah.
happened. Anthony was
Yes.
he found a show I don't know years ago, and he's
Mhm.
from Queens,
Okay.
and we ended up becoming friends online, and we've had drinks and dinner a couple times, and he's a great guy, like normal dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we see eye to eye in a lot of things, so it works out. It's great.
That's why that's why you like the show.
Well, that's the key. You got to see eye to eye on things, because if you disagree about stuff, you got to swear that person's death. You got to just
Yes.
yell in their face and hope they just disappear and not try to respond.
We went to press a month ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you want?
Dude, I was
I
at
want
press
your
the last
coffee
time I
'cause
was.
you're not drinking.
You want
last
my
time I was
coffee?
there.
Yes, you're not drinking it.
What?
I was at press. I was hanging out with you and Steve.
Yeah, you and Steve were hanging out. That's your boy, dude.
Yeah.
Smokes L&M's.
He's all right.
Yeah.
They still make those?
He
He's
smokes L&M's. He
Wow.
robs old ladies.
He actually
for 'em.
stopped. He stopped. He's smoking American spirits now. But
He's
yeah,
smoking. He's smoking
when
Moors.
Morse.
Those long, thin, brown cigarettes.
Sure. Who knew? See, I'm an old school smoker, man. I used to smoke Vantage. That's how old I am.
Jesus Christ.
So quick question, Andrew. So what's the plan? What are you thinking going forward? Is this going to be like just no format, kind of hanging out like it was? You have any ideas of new stuff you want to do?
Is it going to suck like it did 5 years ago, or is it going to be better?
No way. Not at all.
So by the way, Dee Dee from Press is in the chat room. She's saying no love for me, always love for Dee Dee.
Of course. I said
Dee Dee.
hello.
You're just not Steve with your L&Ms.
Where's
I think.
First of all, is Roberta watching?
Oh, I gotta call
Ro-
Roberta.
Ramona, what's her name?
Roberta, you were right.
All right.
I gotta. That's for like a Patreon story. I'll save that. I'll say that, and I'll put that behind a paywall. That story. But she says hello. No,
Say hi.
you know what? You know what, Anthony? I think we're gonna do this monthly. To start, because it really, I think the fun part of the show is that we're getting drunk and we're doing it. It's hard to commit to this because it monopolizes your Friday nights, and I think this is a Friday night show.
Mhm.
It's not. You can't do the show any other night.
Yeah.
So maybe the next show will be on the 6th of March. Maybe we'll do the first Friday of every month.
Okay.
We could do that to start, and maybe we can make it bi-weekly. Let's see what happens. If
See
we
how it
create
goes,
the
you know?
audience and we're making some bread. Listen, Spencer told me, and I subscribe to this belief. He goes, listen, when I turn 35, he goes, you know what? From now on, you know what you got to say? Fuck you, pay me. And I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm gonna do stuff that makes me money and I enjoy doing.
Yeah, man.
I'm not gonna sit here like a chump.
Fuck you, pay me.
That's it, man. No, but I think we're gonna do once a month. And then I'm
Well,
not
whatever
gonna
you do,
rely on
I'm
Spence
gonna-
for the
I'm
phone
gonna love
calls.
it.
Yeah, because I have my own phone system here that I've never installed.
It's rotary.
Yeah, why don't you do that? First of all, I have to speak to Kirk Harnack, the man with the magnificent hair, and tell him that my old school phone. What's the name of his company?
Tell us.
I'm getting old. Telus phone system is no longer working completely. I could receive calls, but I can't hear a fucking dial tone. So I'm like,
we got to get someone to fix it.
I hope the phones are working this week.
We got to fix it. Anthony, thank you for the call, dude.
No problem. Talk to you later.
Let's get a
Andy,
drink.
Take care. Bye.
888-659-3727. That's 888-659-3727. Diana's getting jealous. You see that? We brought up Steve, and Steve has a little crush on you, and
Well,
Diana's like, hey, what about me?
Well, I said hello and sent her whatever that's supposed to be with a smiley face.
I don't know what that is.
It looks like a jujube or something with a smiley face on it. I don't know if you remember those, but
Yeah.
or someone stepped on someone's smile. Die smile.
So how's work, Andrew?
Work is awesome, dude. I love my job. I got a great gig. I
You
can't
do.
complain. I do. I have the best job in the world. I cannot complain. I love the company I work
We walked
at.
in with no reservation to Mastro's.
Oh, tell
in
the story. Hold
Manhattan.
on. I want you to tell the story about this.
Well, from what I remember, because we started drinking really early that day. Like Andrew picks me up, or we meet at the what is the mall there by
The Time Warner building.
Columbus Circle, yeah. And we meet at the mall. We go upstairs to this mall bar, whatever it was, connected to a restaurant, and we just start drinking. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon. Meanwhile, I just had some sort of fucked up procedure that I had to deal with. I got a Band-Aid on my eye, the size of, my fist.
He's walking around like Nelly the rapper with a Band-Aid under his eye.
And apparently I still have game. I don't even know how that works.
It was a Band-Aid, dude.
I know it's
Somebody
a
messaged me
Band-Aid.
and said, I want to chew the Band-Aid off his face. That's what they wrote to me.
Who said that?
I'm not going to tell you who. I'm not going to tell you.
That's
So we
weird.
go to
I hope it was a
Mastro's.
woman.
No, it was a guy,
Oh, what-
actually.
That
was that
wasn't
guy,
the guy
Nick.
from Mastros.
It was the guy from
Yeah, I was
Mastro.
thinking it was Nick.
Yeah.
That guy's been texting me for weeks.
Oh man.
I
just
pulled
kidding.
off a move. So we go into Mastro's. I'm dressed up. There's no reservation. It's right before Christmas, by the way. You can't.
Dude,
get a
first of all, I'm
fucking
sitting
table.
there. We're standing there like schnooks. I'm like, dude, come on. What are you doing? We're never going to get in. And he's like, watch this. Finish the story.
I passed him a 50. I said, I'm sure you could do something. I'm like, Andrew from Sapphire, New York. Oh, hold on. Give me 10 minutes. Got us a great fucking table. Comped so much shit. And he goes to me, Spencer goes, oh my God, you're like an adult.
I said, you're the big swinging dick in this place, man. You're a man.
You met all
I
my
was like,
coworkers.
my boys all grown up.
I had to go say hello to people. People don't realize I got a real job. I think people envision like I'm always in a t-shirt and jeans. Like I wear a suit now, which is bizarre.
But you always find the job where alcohol is flowing.
Always. Come on. You think I could work 9 to 5 with not a drink?
We must have had there must have been at least 10 bottles of wine open.
Oh my God, yeah. All night we were just opening. They're just bringing it now.
That's awesome though.
And they're like, I want you to try this. I want you to try this. Have you tried this one? They're just opening bottles
Bring it.
all night.
Bring it.
I think we closed the place down, and then we went to next door. We went to Ocean Prime.
Ocean Prime.
Yeah,
And then you're like, dude, I gotta go. Then you fucking pulled out.
of course I did. I'm smart. I'm like, listen, my Uber's here. See you guys later. Spencer, go home. Spencer does not go home. He ends up in some fucking dive bar. Where'd you end up? Aces and Eights? No, not Aces and Eights. Faces and Names.
I don't know. It looked like it should have had those poker machines that are in the bar at Vegas.
There was
in the
a
cheap
there was a
places.
condom machine in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up in some dive
Well,
bar.
All I know
And
is
what's-
I get up the next day. There's pictures of me with some like 20-year-old Russian girl, not naked, but just taking selfies with
That was
me.
Nick's girlfriend.
Yeah.
He goes, "Who is this?" And I'm like, "That's
I'm like,
Nick's
"Who's
girlfriend."
this?
He goes, "Oh, thank God." He goes, "Oh, thank God. I thought I did something."
I had no idea.
Aces and Eights. Is that was
Aces,
that the name?
no, Faces and Names. Aces and Eights it does not exist anymore. Faces and Names.
Faces and names. It sounds
Yeah.
like a dive bar.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it sounds like, a place where everybody knows your name. And if they don't, I don't know. I don't know what they do. if they
Here's
don't.
the last thing I remember. I remember your friend Roberta.
Yeah.
I said, let's do Jameson shots. She goes, you don't want to do shots. Something like that. Or
Yeah.
like, oh God, shots?
Yeah, she was like, no,
And-
no, not for you. No more for you.
And that was it. Lights out.
Diana says, Didi in a chat room goes, I used to work at Aces and Eights.
Really?
That's another dive. What's the bar that was by you on the Upper East Side that guy raped and killed that girl? What's the name?
Oh, I thought we were going to have like a good story.
Oh,
no, it's a
Dorian's.
terrible story. Dorian's, yeah.
It wasn't at the bar, but it was Dorian's. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
yeah,
actually in Central Park.
Yeah.
But
That
yeah,
was,
dude, that was a real like Upper East Side private school douchebag bar when I
And
was
everybody
a kid.
was like
I went
14,
to a private
right?
school.
Everybody was like
And-
underage.
Well, you have to understand, when I was growing up, there was no one checked your ID. We were getting into Studio 54, Xenon, all these clubs, and promoters would come to our schools and hand out these cards, these passes. We were like 15 years old. I mean, these were hotbeds for underage drinking, and the shit that went on, it was insane. It really was. But yeah,
Totally.
that place is still open.
Totally different
open,
time,
yeah.
man. It's crazy.
It's wild. Everything is different now. Everything is different.
man.
There's
Everything's different
nothing.
from when everything's different from 5 years ago. Jeez.
I'll give you a great example. Tim Dillon, our
You
friend.
guys are old, man. You guys
Oh,
are old,
yeah.
man.
I
Tim-
always try to do his voice. I can never do it right.
Tim's career has blown the fuck
Oh,
up.
yeah, dude.
How
that's
crazy
heavy.
is that?
Dude, I saw
That's
his...
that's something to talk about last 5 years.
Last
Tim's
5
career.
years. You want to talk about Tim? I'm going to talk about Tim. His career has blown up so much. When I was in Beverly Hills, I went and got lunch with him, right? Breakfast. We went to the Beverly Hilton. No,
Okay.
the Beverly Hills Hotel we went to
You went to the Beverly Hills Hotel.
for breakfast.
On
What
Santa
a
Monica.
kooky hotel, huh?
Old school, man.
Old
you see a
school.
lot of old school,
Yeah.
people in the game just sitting around.
There was a lot of
crazy plastic surgery.
Yeah, tons of that. So we go there, and he's like, listen, I'm doing Jake Paul's podcast. Jake Paul is like the biggest YouTuber right now. He goes, could you help me pick out an outfit? I was like, listen, this is a great fucking story. Me and Tim,
Yeah.
going out clothing shopping.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, goddamn right we're going to go. I'm like, where do you want to go? We're in Beverly Hills. We're on Rodeo Drive now.
Right.
We end up at the Rochester Big and Tall. We go in, and I'm helping him shop.
He
And-
finds him the only sweater with leather sleeves in the entire place.
We went shopping. I posted selfies of us shopping. It was great. And we're having a conversation about the show, right? Like, the girl that works there comes over, and goes to me. She goes, "I just want to tell you, while he's in there, you should be so proud of him." I'm like, "I am." He goes, "No, really. Like, you're so supportive from the conversation. You guys make me so happy." And then I realized she thinks we're dating.
Right, right.
I'm like, I'm fucking going with this. I'm like, oh, I know. I'm so proud of him. He's worked hard. We're from New York. We've been together for the whole time. I told her this whole fucking elaborate lie about how Tim and I have been together since we were like 19 years old. And she found it. It made her day.
Right.
He bought this
You guys were
sweater.
like high school sweethearts.
High school sweethearts, me and Tim Dillon.
Yeah.
This guy, he makes me so happy to see how much his career's blown up.
Oh, absolutely.
He just got a new deal. His podcast is blown up. He just got a new Netflix deal he's doing. Like, what a great story.
Yeah.
This dude would sit here and make fun of Lana and Joanna. And now he's fucking king of the comedy world.
Dude, I saw his.
I love it.
I saw his Netflix special that came out. What was it? Last year, 2 years ago. Hilarious, man. And that
Now, is he still friends with Canal?
Yeah, I think they're
No?
friends.
Um,
He's not Kunal anymore. He's Casey Aurora.
Yeah.
He's KC.
Casey.
Yeah,
Jesus, I
KC.
keep forgetting. Yeah.
Yeah.
that Trump son video he did.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the funniest things.
I watched that like 5 times in a row. I was
He
crying,
dressed up.
laughing.
By the way, he's been doing Rogan all the time now. Have you
Mhm.
seen him on Rogan,
No.
Spence?
No, I haven't.
He does Rogan all the time. Rogan loves him. So this fucking guy, balls of steel, right?
Mhm.
He dressed up, went like in Beverly Hills, walking down Rodeo. He dressed up as Jeffrey Epstein's mansion, that bizarre church-looking mansion.
Yeah.
He dressed up and started walking down the streets in that. As Jeffrey Epstein's mansion.
What do you mean though? Like he dressed up like
He had like a cutout of the mansion
oh,
and he put it on.
oh my god!
And he started walking around in Jeffrey Epstein's mansion.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
That guy, he's hilarious, man.
So
I can't.
fucking great. I know.
That's incredible, man.
I know. The guy. You know what? You should have him on the show, Spence.
Dude, he comes to LA all the time. He's never like,
He
I'm
lives.
gonna look up
He
Coburn.
lives in L.A.
Yeah, I'm never gonna look up Coburn. The guy's on my Facebook page.
Yeah, you should have him on the show.
No, he's actually on the header of my Facebook page.
He is. He's in your video.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. Yeah, that's your
Well,
bumper. That's your break
it's
video.
a screenshot of your but also on my Facebook, a screenshot of your show when he was on the Andrew Zarian show. And it's been up there for like 10 years.
I had
I'm
to
not taking
delete
it down.
some of his Tim Dillon videos. No, that was his show. I think that was a Tim Dillon show, the first Tim Dillon show. The first podcast was done here.
I'm pretty sure. Let me see. I'll tell
Yeah,
you right
yeah,
now.
that was his podcast because it's the GFQ lower third. It's not the Andrew Zarian show lower third.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well,
888-659-3727. We've done this for 2 hours. We're getting ready to wrap it up. Let's give it another couple of minutes, and then we could wrap
Dude,
it up.
I ended my show early to do this thing.
So what are you doing tonight? 6 o'clock over there.
Yeah, I'll let's see, 6 o'clock Friday night, probably the usual.
I want to start, I think the next show, maybe we could do the next show in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
The usual, but this time without the concussion, I hope.
Without the concussion.
Yeah.
I want to do the show in a couple of weeks. I do want to add segments to it. Somebody messaged me just now. He goes, I would love for you to talk about conspiracy theories. And boy, do I have many.
How come the Tech Buzz is live now?
The fucking Tech Buzz he's back too? Stephen fucking Haywood is back?
He's back.
Everybody's
With the fucking
back.
Vengeance, man.
He's back with vengeance.
Yeah.
He's big into arcades
the-
now.
The OG internet broadcasters is like a geriatrics convention.
Diana says we should have a press party. We should go to press after this.
That'd be great.
Yeah, if you were here. When are you back in New York?
I'll be back sometime this month.
Because on the 20th, no, that's March. I'm sorry. The 21st, I'm staying in the city.
Oh, good. Well, I'll be
Yeah.
in the city.
Looking for a cool hotel. Yeah, everybody wants to do a press party. Look at this. Press 195 in Bayside. Yeah, so people want us to discuss conspiracy theories. I have a ton of them. Let's see. Let's get feedback. Let me look at my feedback here. You're going to talk about wrestling. I'm not going to talk about wrestling on the show. Are you going to talk about technology? No, I'm not going to talk about maybe a little bit.
I don't know, man. Conspiracy theories, man. I don't follow them enough to like be able
There's
to.
so many. I love 'em.
I know there are.
Everything
I
is
just,
a fucking conspiracy.
I know, and I just let it go. I'm just like, whatever. I think it's all ridiculous.
You think
Yeah,
Are you
black
gonna tell me
helicopters,
conspiracy
chemtrails,
theories? What's
the
that?
Anunnaki?
The what?
black helicopters, conspiracy theories, the chemtrails. You got Korean Airlines. What is it? 0007 Korean Airlines.
Honestly, I
that
don't even
theory?
know.
What
I don't-
Korean
I
Airlines theory?
The fucking
God,
Korean
really.
Airlines, the plane that went down. The
Malaysian
plane, too.
Airlines.
There's Korean Airlines. There's Malaysian Airlines. What is it? Flight MH370 or 317 or some shit like that. These are all conspiracy theories.
Listen, I think we have too many airlines. I don't want a Malaysian Airlines or a
We
Korean.
can
I
talk
just
about
want
New World Order. How about New
The
World
NWO?
Order? That's a good one.
Scott Hall,
Yeah.
Kevin Nash, and Hulk Hogan. Perfect. Somebody's asking me, where'd you get the shirt? Darren from the 7 Line gave me this shirt. I went to his studio. I had to do some work on Darren's studio. He has he's creating, the 7 Line is creating a podcast network
Okay.
where they're going to have a bunch of like retired Mets,
Oh, that's cool.
journalists, broadcasters, all doing shows. Darren, so he's like, listen, let me pay you to come do this. I was like, I'm not fucking taking money from a friend. I go to he has this gigantic warehouse out in Long Island.
Right.
Dude, so impressive. You
yeah,
want?
man, he's come a long way since like
I always
Dude,
talk
and
about
all
this.
these guys have been. All these guys have been to your house in Bayside.
Yep.
Dude.
All of them
maybe
sitting in
that's
front
what
of the
it
mic.
is.
They're all like, "Listen, can you give me a shot on the
On the
on
show,
the
and look,
Andrew Zarian show?"
and I'm not doing anything.
And you're still in the studio,
I'm still in the studio, and I work at a strip club.
dude. You're killing it, man. You got
I'm the
a, you got a
VP of a
great,
strip
you got a
club.
great situation, great kids.
Listen, life is
No.
great. I cannot complain.
Keeping
just
Fred on
everybody else.
top.
It's
Everybody
just
else
everybody
sucks.
else who sucks. The world around you is what sucks.
That's
The world does suck. I witness catastrophes on a daily basis. People not knowing how to behave. I watched some lady lose her mind over fucking French fries yesterday.
What?
Lost her mind over French
Well,
fries.
I heard what you said.
I'm telling you, dude. People, their priorities are so whacked. People are so affected by life.
Yeah.
They're defected by life. Where it's amazing, and I want that to be part of this show about how ridiculous people
Dude,
act.
people really are ridiculous, man. Like people do and say like stupid things, and like they expect people to like just kind of, like cower at like what they're saying. Like I went to a pizzeria once in the city after watching a friend's band play, and this guy was losing his shit because they didn't take credit card. They're like, we're cash only. He's like, what? You don't take credit card? And you're like, no, I'm sorry.
In
It's all it's all cash.
2000,
Yeah, this was like maybe like 3 years ago at this point. But he was like, you know what? I have 1,777 Twitter followers, and they're all gonna find out about this place. And I'm looking at this guy. And he's like, what? I'm like, are you serious, dude? Like,
Oh,
and I turn over and I look at this girl. I'm like, this guy's out of his fucking mind. And she's like, he's my ex-boyfriend. I'm like, well, I'm
Stop.
sure there's a reason that he's your ex
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And she kind of
Well, let me
chuckled
tell
a
you-
little, and I'm like,
That's actually a very interesting thing that you bring up because people now, if I would never want to own a retail business or have to sell something online, or I mean, people are animals, man, and they threaten.
Yeah.
Everyone lives in this state of feeling they're going to be extorted,
yeah,
and if they don't make the right moves, man, their reviews are going to go to shit.
yeah.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
all. It is extortion. That's what it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you better
Well,
fucking
I
give me. You better seal my French fry box properly, or else I'm gonna write a goddamn Yelp review.
But see, like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
No
the,
fucking
like,
way, man.
the owner has like they can like respond, and I've seen like responses to some of the things like, well, you did order this, and like you just kind of threw it, or whatever. It's like they can respond, but but it's true. It's like any little thing that was bad about the experience, it becomes 1 star, 2 star. Like I'll joke once, like honestly, like I'll joke. I'll be like, that's it, 1 star, that's it. Like I've done Yelp reviews like when I've gotten like so fed up with a place, but like
Well, I've said things like, good thing I'm not a Yelper, shit like that.
well, that's another thing that changed in 5 years. I'm a Yelper. I hate
Yeah.
everybody.
You-
I
you
only
might
write.
fucking
You
Yelp.
write
I only
Yelp reviews.
I only write bad ones. Everybody sucks. The
Let me-
food
let
was
me tell you
good,
something
but
about
like
people who write Yelp reviews,
There we
and that's
go.
how I feel. I mean,
Monsters.
if you have the time
Mhm.
in your life to be a regular Yelper, a Yelp review person, then there's something lacking in your life.
oh,
That's
absolutely.
how I feel about it.
Absolutely.
That-
Honestly, I'm not
You
like
know, I've lived in a world, in a business, and in a world where old online, talking about message forums, shit like that, where people live and die by these things, like your reputation or the physician's reputation. Now that has been scaled to a point that, first of all, I would never want to be a fucking doctor in 2020.
Oh no.
Fuck
Of
that.
course not. Yeah.
That's
By the way,
bad-
if I
that's
was a doctor, I would never go on. I would have no social media.
Right.
Biggest mistake you
Well,
could
it's
ever
the thing. But the thing is, you have to.
You kinda
in
have
order
to, yeah, so
Protect,
people
you
can
have to
find you.
protect yourself, but you also have to protect yourself against all the possible negative stuff that your competitors are writing about you,
Mm-hmm.
or just somebody who, you know what, they called the office. Your receptionist had a little bit of an attitude. 1 star.
Yeah, that's it. You're done,
Fuck.
and you
That's
can't
it.
do shit about it.
Mhm.
You
No.
can't do shit about it.
Oh, like I've read like when I'm looking for a place to like eat or whatever. Like I've read some reviews that people write, and some of it is just such like petty bullshit. Like it's just like it's like I asked for water with ice, and there was only 3 ice cubes in my cup. 1 star. I'm never going back again. I would tell you never to go to this place. I'm like, It's fucking water. Like, go home and drink water.
People are utterly entitled to everything.
Absolutely, and that's you know, that's another thing that we got to deal with nowadays.
I kind of want to do the show
Well, they
next week,
are.
but it's Valentine's Day. And I'll probably get into trouble. My wife will cry like she did on that one New Year's Eve. Did I ever tell you the story?
I think you have.
It was New Year's Eve. I cooked dinner. We hung out at home. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on the air. I'm going to do a countdown to New Year's. She's like, okay. She goes upstairs. She's like, Andrew's going to be up with soon. She puts on lingerie.
Mm-hmm.
I go upstairs. She's crying because I never went up. It was like 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, shit.
I think that's going to happen
That's
next
actually
week if I
that's a
decide
very
to do it.
sad story.
Very sad story.
Yeah, so
But
we're not doing a show on
we're not
Valentine's
doing a
Day.
show
That's
on-
probably
yeah.
not a good idea.
That was the last New Year's Eve show that I did.
So this place closed down, but you know I really think that it closed down. It wasn't great because I was taken there once, but it's this place called Casa de Carlos. I think I've read some of these reviews, but this is really what gave me some insight on how fucked up people are and how funny Yelp reviews can be, but also how it can destroy someone's business. And like it's like one star after one star. Number one worst Mexican food in the valley I have ever tasted. Number two, their shot glasses are a half-inch thick. Makes it look like you're getting a good shot, but you're actually only getting half a shot. These are the things that people complain about.
Yeah.
The size of their shot glasses.
And then, but
Anyway,
it's one
that-
star. At the end of the day, it's a fucking 1-star
Yeah.
review.
Yeah.
But see, like, if anybody has half a mind, they'll read something like that, and be like, all right, that's bullshit. Next. If there's something that actually, like, you know, tells you about the food or whatever, or like even pictures of like the food looking like shit or something like that, you know, because presentation is key, you know.
Well, I'm trying to look for this one review, but I just remember this one review that I read from this place, and it's something like, if you enjoy banging your head against the wall, or banging your head, or hitting yourself in the head with a brick, then you will love Casa de Carlos, or something like that. You know? It was
know,
just
like,
a
how
great fucking review.
How could a hotel stay in business?
honestly,
right, with
I-
all the reviews,
I don't know.
it's impossible.
Can we
Like,
talk
I'm
about
looking-
hotels and Airbnb? Because
Yeah,
I
go
got to
ahead.
tell you this: you got to be out of your fucking mind, in my view, to stay in an Airbnb. I mean, I'd be like looking. First of all, I have to have the place swept for cameras
Oh, there's cameras in
and
all
sa-
of them.
and,
Oh.
and sound devices.
There's cameras in all of them.
If you want to be put on Pornhub, you know,
Stay in an
you know,
Airbnb.
Well, I
doing
mean, if-
doing a little J-O-ing, you know, in your mother's underwear, then you
Listen.
stay in Airbnb.
That's quite a
if listen,
sight.
if people listen, if people want to watch me naked in the shower by myself,
It's on
getting to
them.
know myself a little better,
That's on them.
then their life is worse than the constant Yelper.
Well,
I'll just put it that way.
I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine, she was staying in an Airbnb. She went to Florida.
Mhm.
She went to Miami. She, instead of staying in a hotel, she stayed in an Airbnb. It was her and 3 other girls, and they didn't notice till the 4th day or 3rd day
Mhm.
that there was a hairspray bottle
Mhm.
in the bathroom, and they went to go use it because they were out of hairspray. They're like, "Fuck it, I'm just going to use the hairspray." There's nothing working on it,
Right.
and when they picked it up, the whole bottom came out, and there was a camera facing the
Jesus
shower.
Really?
Fucking Airbnb in Miami. And this guy, by the way, he was highly rated. Immediately called the cops. It became a whole thing.
Wow.
But that's it. Your whole fucking trip is ruined. Why would you
Yeah.
stay in some
I-
weirdo's house?
I mean, I did that. See, like, that's the thing. Like,
By the way, Coco has an OnlyFans page now.
yeah,
Yeah.
when I went to Nashville, like, we did Airbnbs. Like, I didn't know what it was. I listen, honestly.
You did an Airbnb? You had no idea what it
I
was?
listen. I had no idea what Airbnb was. I didn't even know that the places we were staying in were Airbnbs until like we got there. There were 2 different. Like, we were in one place. We were one apartment, I guess, for one day, and the other one we were in for like 2 days. The second one we were in, like, it smelled like somebody wiped their ass with the bed sheets. It was terrible. It was the worst smell I ever. Like, we didn't know what the hell was going on there. And it's like we just wanted to like. I'm like, dude, why? Like, why does
Dude,
this
just
place
stay in a
stink?
fucking Ritz-Carlton and call it a day.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Now,
look,
what
I
kind of a
think-
person rents out? What kind of a person rents out their home
Well, it's the same people who rent
to
out.
fucking
rent,
degenerates?
It's the same people who rent out their cars to drive people to other places. You know, Airbnb is just like, you know, a stationary Uber.
I'm gonna tell you, I would never stay in one. I know people are vile.
Honestly,
They're
I don't-
animals.
No, I would definitely not. I would never, like, after that trip, I would never do it again.
No, listen. After what my friend went through, fuck that. I'm
Oh,
not.
no,
I'm
that's
not gonna
terrible.
Stay.
That's
Even hotels.
first of all,
I barely trust.
It's a great, the whole, incredible disruptive idea. I mean, the guys that started this, it's a great fucking story. I love it. But it really, in my view, it really shows just, and it's why America is so great. It shows just how stupid people are.
well,
Yeah.
you think
And that really, and really, we can do anything we want. I mean, this is the greatest country in the world. They figured this out. I mean, think about it back when it started. You'd be like, who would want to stay in somebody else's house? Or who would
Yeah.
rent out their house to strangers?
I mean,
But it worked.
have you ever heard
Because
of
people are dumb and cheap.
No, you're right.
Sorry.
You're right. And
Yeah.
like honestly, I'd rather pay the extra to get a nice hotel. I mean, have you heard of this? Like, I don't even know if it's still a thing anymore, but couch surfing. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
People staying on other people's
Yeah,
couches. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like while
basically-
those people are actually there.
Yeah.
Like I had a friend who did this, and I thought this was like the weirdest thing. Like there were like 7 girls from like Poland and like the Czech Republic, Germany, like Italy.
Oh, he
They were like-
rents out his couch to people.
Yeah, but like we walked in there and they were like these girls were like sleeping on the floor and all that stuff, and I'm like, dude, what is going on here? I'm like, I didn't know you lived with so many people, and
He's
it's like,
nah, bro, chicks from Europe.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, all right, and we're like,
What's
I
gonna
thought we
happen?
were just hanging out. And I'm like, I'm there just like chilling, hanging out, whatever, and it's like, yeah, we're like. He wanted them to hang out with us too, and I'm like, "This is what you do.
But here's something I want to
You
ask.
invite people. You invite people to stay on your couch for free.
Who stays on someone's couch like that?
I don't know.
On a
But
stranger's couch.
we see, like that's the thing. Like a couple of girls, like we were hanging out on the roof of the building, and when we get back into his place, they're all like sleeping on the floor.
That's fucking weird, man.
That is weird. That is weirder than the Airbnb, because you're like
I'll tell you,
actually there.
I'll tell you something weird. I was at the Peninsula Hotel and I was having a couple of drinks and some food, and this woman sitting next to me. She's like young. She's like 24, 25 years old. Definitely Eastern European. I could tell right off the bat. I didn't know she was Russian or maybe she was Romanian. Anyway, she starts to talk to me. She's drinking and she's waiting for me to buy her a drink, and I just pull a no sell. Like I don't buy shit. So she offers to buy me a drink, and I guess she figured that if she bought me one drink, that would soften me up, and I would buy her the rest of the drinks.
That's great.
You know.
Mhm.
And
They're
that's how
like,
these
thanks
girls
for the
operate. So-
drink.
Yeah, I'm like, that's exactly what I said. I'm like, that's really kind of sure. Yeah, okay, you know what? Make it a double Jameson's. Buys a drink. We're talking. She tells me this whole story that she's been living here. She's from Romania. She's been living here for 6 months, only staying in Beverly Hills by using Tinder. So she
Wow.
my
meets
God.
guys, stays in their places, eats.
Drinks.
And I was like, what are you doing here alone? And she's like, the guy that she was supposed to hook up with didn't show up.
So she's looking for a place to go.
But she could just use Tinder. But I guess she figured, hey, you know what? This guy's sitting here.
Right.
But
Oh
I
my
was
God.
fascinated. She was drunk, so she was telling me the truth. And then she's starting to be like, like she's a little handsy and wanted to hang out. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe you shouldn't have told me that story.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is the world we live in, man.
I'm not
I
a
don't
piece of
see-
meat, lady.
Dude, but you fucking kid. Well, you're not kids anymore. Jesus, you guys are getting old too. You guys are almost 40, right?
I'm almost.
I'm
well,
gonna be
he's
40
gonna
in
be
July,
yeah.
man.
All right, the shit's getting real, dude. I'm about to be 55. That's like you're sloping down to 60.
Holy shit! I can't imagine you at 60, dude. Come on.
Okay,
Yeah. That's
dude.
Listen, my dad just turned 70. He's turning 71 next month. That blows my mind. And he looks great. Like I'm just like I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just
but he
like-
looks great for 70. That's the thing.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't be like,
he
wow, you
doesn't
look.
look 30.
Huh?
He
Yeah,
doesn't
all of a
look
sudden
30.
you're like,
No, he doesn't look 30,
no,
but,
all
he
of a
doesn't look 70
all of a sudden
either.
you're like, all of a sudden women are starting to. Isn't he adorable? Like you become a kid again
Yeah, that's true.
at a certain
That's
age.
true. But
You know?
people always
So
say
I'm
that
hitting
about
that
my
point.
dad.
I'm 55 years old. I'm going to be 55 years. That is real, people.
Yeah. No, I
And-
listen.
So I'm gonna be 36.
Shut the fuck up.
Old fucks.
No, but I mean, like, I'm
36 years old.
I'm going to be 40 in July. Like I said, I remember when I turned 30, you and Jess took me out to Pizzeria Uno, and even the waitress saw how fucking depressed I was for turning 30. I thought that was like the end of my life. I'm like, this is it. I'm 30. I'm nothing. I'm not doing anything. And oddly enough, that was when life really picked up for me. Things actually
Weren't
got
you working
better.
on
Oh,
furniture?
you got your driver's license?
Well, I got my driver. I know it's crazy. I got my driver's license at 28. I know people think that's
Yeah.
ridiculous, which I guess it is. But like when you live where, you know, you walk down one block, you got the Long Island Railroad. You walk down
What are
the
you
other.
talking
You
about?
got,
Everybody in the neighborhood drives. I
Yeah,
drive.
listen.
I wasn't asking you to explain yourself, man. It's cool.
no. I'm just saying, like, honestly,
it was a new world for you.
Yeah, no, true. And like, you know, I got my new job, and and that's another thing that's crazy. I've been there almost 10 years. In August, I will have been at my job for 10 years. That's another thing that like blows my mind.
I
mean, what
remember
blows
when
my
you were
mind.
fucking building furniture.
Yeah, I know. And like the other thing that blows my mind that makes me even like the only like inkling of depression that I get is when I think that I still have 20 more years to be at this place. I love
You
my
gotta
job.
work
Don't
for
get me wrong.
24 years.
Don't get me wrong. I have a great job. I don't have a problem waking up and going there every morning. But like, just, you know, because like when you have to be somewhere and do something for a certain amount of time, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. The paycheck's great. I get to, you know, it's like I'm doing well, you know, but you know, sometimes I just want to like not do that. I just want to stay home.
Do you think I want to be the hair guy?
No,
Yes.
listen,
Anymore?
I understand, you know, but we are, as we mentioned, we're all adults. We do have responsibilities. You know, some of us have mortgages, loans, cars, everything, you know, and even just hobbies that we want to spend our money on. And that's what we got to do it. But
Diana doesn't have a license yet.
huh?
Dee Dee doesn't have a license.
That's fine. I mean, looking ahead, thinking about just the small amount of shit that's changed in the 5 years that the three of us haven't done this show. Looking ahead 20 years from this point on to the time that I should be retiring from my job at the age of 60, I can't even imagine how much shit is going to change in 20 years. If this is how things are right now,
You're living on the fucking moon, dude.
listen, I would not have a problem like moving to another planet, but I'll settle for Wyoming.
I would not settle for Wyoming.
I would settle for Wyoming. How many people do you know from Wyoming? Exactly. No one's going to find me. Let's put it that way.
Thank you for
Dude,
that.
I'm looking
Oh,
at
no
Costa
problem.
Rica and Uruguay. That's what I'm looking. That's what I'm looking at.
No, listen, I totally get that. I mean, like I always
That's
said,
where
like,
all the old sexual refugees go.
listen,
Costa Rica.
listen. After I visited
Yeah.
DR for the first time, I told my buddy, I said, listen, if I'm not married or like in a relationship by the time I retire, this is where I'm going to be.
Yeah.
This is where I'm retiring to.
Dude, you get a girlfriend for a week for a sandwich in a DR.
That's how it works, dude.
Yeah.
You're not kidding.
Yeah,
you're not kidding.
I'm not kidding.
I know.
You think it's any different here in the United States? It's all the same, except here in the U.S., you have to. It's a whole bullshit with it. You know, you got to get them an engagement ring and the diamonds and this and that, and you know, the marriage. And wait a second, Jess isn't going to like hearing this.
She'll just call you tomorrow. It's fine. All right, guys. Time to wrap it up. We went 23 minutes over what we were supposed to.
There is no supposed to, man. It's the free for all.
Well,
Just saying.
A free for all, dude.
I want to keep it nice and short. I want people to return.
Well, I mean,
I don't want them
listen,
to get exhausted already.
Listen, there are people who are in this chat room who've been here, I think, since the beginning.
People are enjoying it. They're glad we're back. They're
I'm
shocked.
glad that they're glad.
Me
that
too.
we're back.
Me too. I'm glad that we did this. Guys, go to our website, gfknetwork.com. We'll be releasing clips from the show all week. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I gotta finish that free for all page, but I think we're gonna do this monthly. We'll make this a monthly thing.
Sounds good.
7 o'clock is a great time to do this because by the time it ends, it's still fairly early. In the summer, it'll be early. We can still go out and have a drink or something.
Yeah.
Spencer has his whole life ahead of him because it's only 6:30 on the West Coast right now.
That is true.
You could do whatever you want. Your night's not over. For Spencer,
At
all things Spencer.
my what?
I was giving you a plug, but you go ahead and you give yourself
Okay,
a
go
plug.
ahead. Go ahead. I don't want.
No, you do it.
I don't want to do it.
For all things Spencer, go to baldtruth.com. Follow him on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. He's everywhere. For all things cocoa butter,
EXP.
EXP.
Yeah, on Twitter, Instagram, the Cocoa Butter Experience on Facebook, and James Fletcher.
Why is that your fucking name?
I did that as a joke one night, and like I couldn't change it from that. Now they want ID, and I'm like, fuck you. I'm not giving you.
You don't want to
ID.
give them the ID.
I don't know. I might.
Can you just become a real person, not James
I
Fletcher?
can, but like that's how people listen. When I was on as Cocoa Butter, more people found me as Cocoa Butter than they did with my real name.
Because your real name is a cartoon name. It's not real. it really is like a fucking cartoon. Hi from London, says Batman Superman.
Hi, Batman
Hi,
Superman.
Batman Superman.
Hey,
For all
Batman
things
Superman.
me, follow me on Twitter at Andrew Zarian. Also, we do a whole bunch of shows. Matt Men Podcast, What the Tech, The Free For All's back, This Week in Radio Tech's on. We have a whole bunch of stuff happening, and I think we're going to add a couple more shows. I got the itch again, guys. I got the itch.
I mean, dude, this was really.
I want to ruin my Friday nights. That's
man,
the itch.
and you know, if you decide that you want to do a show like on a Wednesday at like 6:28 at night,
You'll do it.
I'll drive down here.
I know
Man.
you will. All right, guys, that's it for this week. We'll see you all next time. Take care. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. That was a lot of fun. Can you interview more chatterbait models?
That
No,
would-
now it's going to be OnlyFans. OnlyFans models. We're going to start an
Now,
OnlyFans page.
what is an OnlyFans thing?
OnlyFans is if you are a semi-attractive girl and you want to make some money, you create an OnlyFans and you sell either nude photos or semi-nude photos. You'd have a subscription page. A lot
And you
of
so
like.
you were joking when you said that Coco had one, or does he have one?
No, I think he needs to make one.
Well, we were talking about, you know, what do you call it? The Airbnb and like someone filming me.
Falafel Bay in the chat
Filming
room
me in the
says
shower.
more chatterbait models, please.
Did you have you never did any more chatterbait models since
No, but I wanted that to be the show.
what? You want to do a show based on chatterbait models?
Yeah, I wanted to interview all.
That would be
Okay,
brilliant.
I'll give you the list of girls I follow on it, and you know, you pick and choose who you think you want to contact.
That was a,
Some
that
of
was
them
a
have-
concept I had 5 years ago.
Some of them have balls, but you know, they'd be cool to talk to too. I think. Might need a
Yeah,
translator though.
Chicks with cranks.
Chicks.
Yeah.
We can't say that anymore. Shh. I own the domain name. I own the domain name still. I own that domain name. I own gaggleagaze.com and chickswithcranks.com. Takes you right to GFQ.
I'll tell you, if you do a podcast just with chatterbait chicks,
Dude,
It'll be yeah.
it'll change your life.
dude, do you ever wonder how many people have found you because they looked up chickswithcranks.com?
So many.
They're like, wait, where are the? It's like, wait, is that a chick? Looking at Andrew, like,
Yeah.
Cranks.com. Let's see. Yeah. No. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Did I get rid of the site? I don't have the site anymore.
I still
never knew
have my domains with
Hover.
Hover. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have them all on auto renew because I don't want to have to keep like signing in and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
All right, guys. Thank you, Spence.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for
Spencer.
remembering me.
Hang on. Let me kill the feeds here. Hold on. See you guys.
Coco, wait.